What is good, guys? Doing Modern Kid here back again. Welcome to the first episode, or I should say, welcome to the 70th um, open mic Q&A of the month. Sorry I couldn't do um, the uh, the second for October. I was just swamped. Yesterday was a long day for me, and the day before that, my weekend was really swamped, so I wasn't able to get anything out. Once I came home, I went right to sleep, so I wasn't able to get it. So, but today I'm here to give you guys another open mic Q&A. Today, um, happy Halloween. I hope everybody had a happy Halloween. Um, if you celebrate Halloween. I was working at the time, so I didn't but I did get to hand out candy to a lot of the trick or treaters that came through near my job. So it was fun to just see the different costumes and see the different people dressing up and things like that. It was a lot of fun, but it also brought me back, guys, to the days where I definitely where I was reminiscent. I just uh, I was reminiscing, and it was a lot of fun to just remembering when I used to trick or treat and stuff like that. So to see that people that came through, the kids that came through, it was so much fun. So a lot of Princess Jasmine's, one Ghostbuster that was really cool. He had a proton pack and everything. Uh, Two Spider-Men, so that was great. A few little Batman. There was this one little boy. He was dressed up as Batman. He looked so cute. I was like, um, there was a lot of Scorpion and Sub Zeros. That was one thing I was shocked at too. A lot of Scorpion and Sub Zeros. Um, Outside of that, a lot of Wonder Women, little Wonder Girls, as well as Supergirls. There was a lot of Supergirls that made my day, and I really enjoyed that idea. I see your questions, guys. Let me just reminisce for a bit. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, Sorry about that. Um, but it was a lot of fun to just reminisce and to see just the amount of you know people still trick or treating. And like I said, it just made me reminisce, about when I was doing it. And one of the things that really had me pretty cool was he just seeing after that there was a who was there? There was another trick or treater that really amazed me. Actually, two, but I also enjoyed the the parents that dressed up too, and a lot of the parents, especially the dads that were taking their kids dressed up as Boba Fett. And I know there was the new Boba Fett trailer, which I have not watched, so please don't spoil anything for me. Got to see them dress up. It was fun. But there was a one kid who dressed up as Altair, and he was passing through, and I saw him, and he was passing through with as Altair and his mom too. So I was like, "Yo, Altair, yeah, come get some candy." I had a big bag of candy, and he came over, and I kneeled down to him. I said, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, man, I was like, who's the target?" I was like, "Who's the target? Who you here to assassinate?" And he just went. And then I asked him, I'm like, "Where's your hidden blade?" And then he looked up at his mom, and she's like, "Oh, he wasn't putting that on." I was like, and then I looked, I'm like, Mom, I'm like, Mom, you look great. And she was like, I saw this suit, and I was like, don't you know who you are? And she's like, no, not really. I was like, you Diva from Overwatch. And so I said, Diva online. And she just looked at me like, I don't know what that is. But her son did. And then there was another kid who came as Mega Man or Rock Man, and he had little waste baskets on his leg. And I've seen this done before at a Comic Con. I saw this, but this little kid he had to be no more than 8, 9, maybe 8, 9, or 10. He had little baskets on his leg up to his like calf, and he painted it blue, and they were supposed to be like Mega Man's like boots, those big boots he wears. I thought that was really clever, and I was like, that was cool. And I said, hey Mega, come get some candy. I was like, where's Roll? And he's like, he just went. There was a kid dressed up as Negan, and I kind of messed with him. I was like, you don't get no candy, Negan. And I almost made him cry. I kind of think about that. I was like, oh Jesus. But no, it was a long day, but it was fruitful, and it just made me reminisce about the days when I was trick or treating. I dressed up, and I could tell you right now, guys, I didn't stop trick or treating until I was like 16. I was still trick or treating when I was 15, and I remember every costume that I dressed up as, everybody I dressed up as for Halloween. You know, going back to when I was, growing up in the 80s and then up to the 90s, and then, I was yeah, I was 15, 1997. Yeah, 1997, I was 15. So 1997 was probably my last time I went trick or treating, like dressed up. And one thing I love to see that the kids are still doing it is because to them, it is kind of like cosplaying. It's kind of like cosplaying, but on a certain day, and you're getting candy out of it. But for me, back when I was growing up, it was scarier. Like, because the thing I had to worry about is razors in my candy or needles and stuff. And it's just like, what kind of crap is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what kind of crap is that? See people's questions. Once again, I will get to those. So hold your questions. It's just you look at that and you're like, why would you put razor blades and needles in people's candy? But none of my candy had needles or anything like that. I love kids, and I want to be a dad, so that's just me. And I just reminisced, and so every time I got a chance to just think, I was just like, oh my god, I remember dressing up as He-Man and Skeletor, and uh, um, I wish I could have dressed up as a Ghostbuster. I never got to do that when I was younger, but He-Man, Skeletor, I dressed up as one year. Lionel, Panthro, I remember. Michelangelo from Ninja Turtles, I got to dress up as. Um, and I remember dressing up as a cowboy one year, and I had 2 6 shooters, and it was pretty fun. I dressed up as a jailbird. One year I was a jailbird, and one of my teachers back, I think she also was a jailbird too, and she put this makeup on my teeth to make it look like my teeth are rotten, and it was so fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I dressed up as Dracula one time, and I remember, God bless her, my mom never really liked that I would dress up as villains or characters like that. She always wanted me to dress up as like heroic characters. It was something, and I understood why. There were times I get it. I was like, oh, okay, I got it. I was like, okay, mom, I won't do it. By the time I was like 10 and 11, actually, I stopped. I stopped dressing up as villains and stuff. I would dress up as heroes. And I I also dressed up as, I remember I dressed up as Axel from Streets of Rage. I think I was from the Streets of Rage game. I dressed up as his look from Streets of Rage 3 when he had the black and gold look. I dressed up as him. I even got sneakers. You put on old sneakers, like old Reebok sneakers, and wrote Sega on the side of it. And so it was cool. I remember that. I remember all the costumes I had. It was fun. I dressed up as Jason. I dressed up as Jason. In terms of horror icons, I was Jason one year. I was Freddy Krueger. I was never Michael Myers though. I never dressed up as Michael Myers, but I dressed up as Freddy and Jason. And the last year I went trick or treat in '97. No, it wasn't Ghostface because by that time, yeah, Scream, the first Scream had came out, but I didn't dress up as Ghostface. That costume was everywhere in the late '90s. But I remember dressing up because even though my mom had passed 2 years prior, I still kept my word and not dressing up as villains. And I remember dressing up. Who was it I dressed up as? Um, I think I was a Western again. If I remember correctly. I think this time I was actually somebody from Clint Eastwood. I was Clint Eastwood. I dressed up as Clint Eastwood character, his classic look. So it was a lot of fun. And just handing out candy to those kids yesterday was just made me reminisce, and it was so much fun. I remember just the Halloween parties and things like that. Even as a kid, you still remember that stuff, and it's just so much fun. It was fruitful to hear people, "Thank you, Mister," things like that. It was so much fun, and I know I'm getting older because their kids are calling me Mister. I'm like, oh Jesus, you know, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, who was the last to come before because the whole bag was finished. I had a big bag, and the last two to come was a Captain Marvel. She came, a little girl dressed up as Captain Marvel, and she came, but and her brother, like I said, her brother was Batman. So a lot of as comic characters, a lot of Supergirls, a lot of Wonder Womans, couple of Spider-Mans, and one that came both his dad and he was dressed up as Spider-Man. I thought that was clever. Right? And I would give the dads fist bumps like for dressing up because that meant a lot, because I remember my dad used to dress up with me for Halloween, something quick where he could just when he would take me trick-or-treating and things like that. So it was fun, and I was glad to see that. And it's changing now because being that I work in a mall, um, and the mall, and it's a jewelry store mall, so I can't. And so I work in a mall, but it's still cool that the whole mall knows when everybody is loaded with candy. All the stores in the mall is loaded with candy. So and they want kids to come into the mall to trick or treat to feel more safer, just in case. I mean, with your parents, you're good, but yeah, it's fun. But that was a fruitful day. But like I said, once I came home, I went right to sleep. And Malcolm knows that because I took my clothes on, pop, I went right to sleep. And Malcolm said, "You gonna get up later?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Next, by the time I got up, I looked at it was 10 a.m. in the morning. 10 a.m. in the morning today. I was like, "Oh shoot, I slept through the night. I was just beat. I was I was just beat tired." But I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with if you guys celebrate Halloween. And I know, that there are a lot of people that don't celebrate it because of its origin. I know the origin of Halloween is very dark and grim, and it originates, I believe, from Ireland, if I remember correctly. I'm doing my history, so and I know it. A lot of people don't celebrate it for that, but for being a kid, dressing up for a day you know and going out and saying trick or treat and people giving you candy, you can't beat it, man. You can't. It's something I hope today, someday to do with my, when if I am blessed with children, someday I definitely want to, because I'll be that dad that dresses up. I'll be taking that real serious. Like, yeah, I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna dress up with you, no problem. You know. So, uh, and we're here to we're here to I'm here to answer your questions, and like I said, uh, hold the questions, guys, for a minute before I get into it. But yeah, we're here now. How many people are with me? How many pack members are with me? Eight. The eight. So the eight people in the pack are here. We're getting a few new pack members as of late. Appreciate that. We still need to pick up the slack in terms of uh, members, because my road is still to reach 20K, but now I'm edging closer to 12K, so that's great. Got some new merch, guys. I just put up new merch on my store. You should see like the merch, the two new t-shirts. They also are t-shirts and hoodies. So if you like what you see, I appreciate it. One of them is a something I came up with, some knowledge or some sayings, some wise words from something I kind of came up with this idea. And the other one is never forget your favorite your first friend shirt. It's a shirt with me. It looks digital. It's me and Monster, and Monster's there, and it's got like the comic book background. It's really cool. It was design that was fun to design, so I had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, the new shirts. I've got some more coming real soon. So I need to start wearing my merch, and it's something that Malcolm actually told me too. He's like, "So you need to promote your shirts and stuff," and I need to promote those better. But yeah, man, I got some new merch. Uh, so yeah, check them out if you like. Um, so yeah, let's get to some questions for today, and we'll start it off when they first started airing. Okay, wow, they were coming in around 6 o'clock before the thing even started. This Q&A started at 7:45 Eastern time, New York time, and there was questions coming in from them even all that time. Okay, so the first question comes from Chris Funk. What's up? Are you a fan of The Rocketeer? Yeah, I love The Rocketeer. Love that movie. That's a fun movie. I remember when that movie first was being advertised, and I remember reading the comics that were a part of it. Like they did a film adaptation comic. I forget who published it, but it was real cool. Um, you had a pretty good cast there. You had a young Jennifer Connelly. You had Paul Sorvino in that. Timothy Dalton, Mr. James Bond himself, or one of the Bonds. Um, I'm always forgetting the actor who played the Rocketeer. But yeah, I remember that it was a good movie and the music was great. Love that music, that really heroic music. Just gave you. It was really heroic. Um, and but I remember Joe Johnston directed it, and Joe Johnston is really good at directing period piece movies because that was supposed to take place, I think, during the 1930s or 30s or early 40s, and it was really good. I loved it. They were dealing with the rocket was stolen, I believe, if I remember correctly. The rocket was actually created by the Nazis. They were going to use it as some kind of paratrooper, and they stole it. They stole it, and it fell into the hands of a test pilot. It was really fun, and that music was great. One of my favorite lines in the movie comes at the end. I think it's the final shootout. And Paul Sorvino's character, who is a mob boss, the Rocketeer tells him, he said, "So what is it like working for a Nazi? How do they pay you with dollars or Deutsch notes?" And he's like, what are you talking about?" And Timothy Dalton's character is actually he infiltrated Hollywood as an actor, but he's really a Nazi spy. and Jennifer Connelly's character is telling him, "I saw the radio," asking about the radio with with people Germans on there and things like that. And Paul Savino says, "What is he talking about? You better start talking to me." He pulls a gun out on him, and then he's just like, and Timothy Hall's character's like, "Come on, Eddie, I'm paying you well, ain't I?" And then he's like, and then he says, "I may not make an honest buck because he's a mob boss." He says, "But I'm 100% American. And I don't work for no crop." I was like, that is my favorite line. I love that line in that movie because it was like, yeah, he's a mob boss, but he literally said, "I may not make an honest buck, but I do not work for Nazis." And I love that. That line was great. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Rocketeer. I think you can watch it anytime you want. If you got Disney Plus, you can go up there and watch it all the time. It's a good movie. Really fun. Your next question is, will you relaunch your Patreon account? Yeah, I'm about to start. I am starting to. I'm going to relaunch it. But I'm I might need some help from the pack with some of the tiers. Like, what would you guys want me to put on those tiers? What would you want? What is some? And you guys can leave it in the comments. And now, what would you want? What would you want me to? What would you want me to do for the Patreon? I'm just looking for maybe the first three, because the last tier I know exactly what that one is, but the other three, give me some ideas. I'd love to hear it. You know. Um, and your third question is, did you see the latest James Bond movie? I have not seen it yet, but I do want to see it. That is Mr. Craig's final performance as the character. I definitely want to see it. Really, really do. Hopefully, it's really good. Well, I love mostly all of Daniel Craig's movies. There hasn't been one that I didn't like, and I've seen his entire run, and I like his run. He had a great run, and I think he's in terms of the modern men who've taken up the James Bond. I believe he's gone more movies than anybody. I think. Correct me. Most of them have done only four, and then they're done. I think he did five. But yeah, thank you, thank you, Chris. Funk. CF, I'll call you that. How about that, CF? Next on the Lorenzo Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. No, I'm just messing with you. You have a couple of questions. What's your favorite werewolf movies? My favorite werewolf movies. Oh God. Yeah, I really wish this would have been fun if I'd have did yesterday, but it's okay. I got a lot. My favorite overall. Number one is definitely Dog Soldiers. Love Dog Soldiers. I will always give love and respect to my bro, Mr. Multiverse, for that. Because he was like, you got to watch Dog Soldiers. You'll love this movie, and it's directed by the same guy that did Descent. And I'm like, I watched Descent. Used to scare the shit out of me. Not even joking. That movie scared the hell out of me when I first watched The Descent. So badly because I watched it at night, and then so badly I had to watch another movie just to get my mind off of that. Anyway, going back to that, loved it. So Dog Soldiers, and I watched it. I was like, this movie is great. I love it. I'm loving it. The werewolves are vicious, and they're tall as fuck. They had to been he's like 9 feet tall, and I'm like, okay, that's believable more because most of the werewolf novels I also read, when they describe how big when they're in werewolf form are, they say 9 to 10 feet tall, and I'm like, perfect. But it was great. Dog Soldiers up there. Silver Bullet. I always got to throw Silver Bullet in there because it's one of my favorites. Even though the werewolf looked like a bear, I will I will admit it, but it's still funny to see the werewolf was actually a man of God, a priest. It's a priest. And Corey Feldman, I mean, Corey Haim, rest in peace, Corey Haim. He was in it and he had a wheelchair that had rockets on it. That joint was cool. Gary Busey was just getting tossed around like crazy, and it was always slow motion. It was fun. But I enjoy that. The Howling, another one of my favorites. Love The Howling. I also love Werewolf, American Werewolf in London. Even though that's more, they look at that more as a horror comedy, but um, the makeup and the makeup, the transformation, that's still probably the most scariest transformation of a werewolf in a werewolf movie. Like the amount of practical effects that were used in that was great. From the hand, his hand becoming this large, the hair growing, his face kind of stretching, his ears. It was you look at it from a standpoint of that, you're like, it's like Jesus Christ. You forget, like, yeah, this it's a man becoming a wolf. So you gotta believe that that's painful to from the your bones stretching, your teeth, your jawline realigning to a different. It's like, ooh, there are a couple of those. So those are definitely some of my favorite werewolf movies. I love werewolf movies, but I also love werewolf movies where the person is somewhat in control of it, or they know that they're a werewolf, that they kind of but they can keep it in control. Like the man or the woman and the wolf are one. So I sometimes don't like where the werewolf is just a rampaging beast. Don't know, or when the person wakes up, they don't know what happened. I kind of get tired of that cliche. When I read a lot of werewolf novels, a lot of them know that they're a werewolf, so they stay isolated from people, or if they do, they tell, like, okay, lock me up, oh, lock me up here, or something like that. I love stuff like that. It's good. But yeah, those are some of my favorite werewolf movies. Your third, your next question is, Lorenzo, is who's your second horror icon? My second favorite horror icon, um, I gotta go definitely Freddy Krueger. Before Michael Myers, just Freddy Krueger. Freddy, the big icons, Freddy, Michael's first, Freddy's next, Jason's next. I like Freddy Krueger, but he never scared me. Freddy never scared me. But I will admit that last one that Wes Craven made, um, Freddy looked scary as hell. His last Freddy movie. Not talking about the remake. I'm talking about the last Freddy Krueger. I think the Final Nightmare, or the I forget what it's called, but yeah, Freddy looked creepy and scary in that one. But shouts out to Robert Englund. He did his thing as that character, and if he ever said, I'm done, he earned it. He earned it. But Freddie never really truly scared me. But I always liked, just the fact that here's a guy that can come into your dreams, and even though they say you can kind of control your dreams, he was more powerful not to control it. I thought that was cool. But Freddie, yeah, definitely. Uh, your third question: are you going to watch Venom? Here Comes Carnage, or not really? I have no intention of watching that. If I see it and it's on, ain't nothing that I'm want to do. I'll probably but I have no intentions to really watch it. I don't care. I really don't. I know what happened at the end. It seems now that Venom is now in the MCU. It is what it is. But I've heard like they killed off Carnage and everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Uh, your next question is, will you do a favorite blonde list? Because I liked your favorite redhead list. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love doing favorite lists or things like that. The redheads, I love redheads. Redheads are unique to me, and I just love redheads. I have a thing for redheads. So would I do a favorite blonde list? Yeah, I probably will. Maybe will. Never know. I'm in the mood for it. I mean, there are blonde comic book characters or fictional characters that I do like. I'm not saying I hate blondes, because I don't. But yeah, who knows? But if people start asking me, like, can you do this list? And I probably won't. But if it is what it is. It's an opinion spot. People request it. Um, you requested it, I'll do it. All right. So thank you. Tony Montana. Hello, Chris. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. I'm rested. Can't you see? I'm very rested. Um, how's the family? How's health? How's life? Family is fine. Health is fine. Life is what I make it, and it's been fine. Uh, can't complain. There you go. Next up, Travis. Why do you think Cody Rhodes? Why do you think Cody Rhodes is being booed? Um, because he's trying too hard. There's one thing, people want him to go heel. I mean, but he broke silence. And I'm never gonna go heel. He said I won't turn. But right when he said that, I was like, why would you say that? Me and Michael was watching it. I'm just like, why would you say that? Like, break the fourth wall, well, don't you? It was just, you know, he's like, yeah, everybody's seen me. I'm gone Hollywood. I did all this, but it's just like, you know, go heel. Just, it is what it is. That's why he gets booed. Besides Thriller, which other songs do you consider to be great Halloween songs? Um, 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 Self Control by Laura Burrington. Yeah, you take my self control, you take my. Yeah, that's a Halloween song for sure. Especially that lyric, "I live amongst the creatures of the night." I'm like, yeah, that's a Halloween song for real. Definitely, that's definitely up there. There's a couple of rockers who've done just straight Halloween songs, rock bands that I like. So yeah, that's definitely a couple. That's definitely. What do you think about the new character for Iron Fist? I can't tell you what I think. You're just gonna have to watch because I recorded a video about the new Iron Fist. So you'll just have to watch that. G'day, Chris. Hey, what's up? Got one of my Aussie Pack members here. It's great. I moved house. Oh, you moved. The move went well. All right. Because you were telling me that the you were moving and you having a little trouble. I'm glad that everything worked out. How's the weather in Australia? And what time is it in? Hey Samuel, what time is it in Australia? Australia has multiple time zones. In Sydney, it is 11:27. Oh, thank you. Hey Samuel, thank you. My motherfucking Okay, thank you. So yeah, glad the move went well. Um, did you hear about Alpo Mark Marquez? No, what happened? Warhawk. I had a lot of superheroes show up in my neighborhood. That's cool. That's great. I love seeing that. Uh, uh, hold on one moment. Texting. Let's see. Next up, next question. Let's see. Let's see. I'm missing. Okay, we go. Travis, don't see what the big deal is about MJF. Oh wow, you don't like MJF, huh, Travis? I don't. He's a good heel. He knows how to get the heat. That's for sure. Um, I don't consider him a New Yorker. Even though he's from Long Island, but even us New Yorkers look at Long Island as like a foreign country. That's certain parts of that is just full of just weirdos or just stuck up people. Like Long Island, certain parts we call it Strong Island as well. That's like its nickname. But there's just certain parts that you know I don't care too much about. I don't. Uh, I don't go out there a lot. The only time I go out to Long Island is when I'm going to visit my mom. That's about it. But no, he's a heel. He's playing the part of a stuck up rich type. But there are parts I can understand because there are parts in there, and he puts that ring on and he punches somebody, and they make the ring. I'm like, it's a fucking ring. Like, give me a fucking break. Like stuff like that. I'm like, come on, the fucking ring. Like really, like that's really gonna knock somebody out. Fucking ring. Give me a break. Now you put on some brass knucks, okay, but it's a ring. You know, now he's messing with the homie. You know, uh, he's messing with Darby Allin, who I like, and Sting. Sting about to fuck him up too, which I loved. So yeah. Um, Speaking of houses, how's your new one doing? It's getting fine. Like I said, mostly everything is set up. I'm still missing a few things that, like I said, I want to put my all my prints on the wall behind me. I'm missing the desk behind me. I got to put on my desk. My TV is on the ground right here because I got to get a new setup for it. But it's standing on its things, but I got to fix that. Outside of that, it's fine. It's good. The landlord is great, really good guy. I love him. He's just really cool, down to earth dude. Mr. Stevens, just funny too. But he's a good dude. He's a good dude, and that's what you want with you want a good landlord. You got a good rapport with them. Not some stupid nonsense. But it is what it is. Malcolm and I, you know, this has been a convenience for us very much. The neighborhood we're in is fine. It's very multiracial. Definitely, this neighborhood is definitely multiracial, but it's great. Indeed. So what's up? Warhawk. I remember in 1999, I was Sting when he was heel in WCW. Well, Sting. I mean, there was that fake Sting, if that's what you're talking about. The fake Sting. Real Sting never truly went heel. Uh, even when he was with the Wolfpack, he never truly went heel. But there was a fake Sting. Back in Switzerland, this is from Tony. We put Halloween decorations, but there are barely trick or treating. Oh, okay. It's not. What is it? Is cold too cold? I doubt that, right? Because you know, but you got Taco Day, so it's good stuff right there. I love me some tacos, man. Next up, there are people who are saying that the new Iron Fist, who's Asian, that it reinforces the stereotype of Asian people. Only's playing. What are your thoughts on that? I wasn't going to talk about it now, but it kind of does, but this was being talked about before, when they were doing the live action. When they were showcasing the heroes, for the four, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. When they were announced, and there were fellow Asian geeks that were saying, we got a black man, we got two whites already. Why don't you get another minority? Why does an Iron Fist be Asian? And yeah, it's a stereotype, something that the greats like Bruce Lee tried to get out of. It's like they're more to than just being martial artists or brainiacs like math whiz, or they're geeks or something like that. They're more to that. And besides, Iron Fist is pretty much an Asian, has a lot of Eastern culture in it. From the dragon himself, the names, everything. But the fact is, Danny Rand is a white boy. He's a white guy. He's blonde white guy that found the mystic city of Kulon and trained at the age of 19 to become the Iron Fist, defeated the undying dragon Shu Lao, punched his fist into the heart of the dragon and gained the, you know, anybody can do it. But then we start looking at, once again, then you start looking at the legacy of the Iron Fist, and you've seen all of his predecessors. Not all of them were Asian. There were some Asian ones. There were some Middle Eastern. There were young one. There were so it was a really good, interesting take. You know, but now with people, when this stuff comes out, already felt my fellow geeks already they put videos out and they start going into detail. Who could it be? But Marvel and DC, they can't keep secrets for shit. Sorry, they cannot. They cannot hold a secret. Even when they do these stupid, they do these silhouettes. And who is this? And we're not stupid. We can pick out who that is, but they quickly showed what the new Iron Fist is going to look like. It comes out in February. It's going to be another miniseries. It's going to be written by Ashley Wong, who is Asian, and she put up a nice post on Twitter talking about it's really nice, to be able to write an Asian character because she wrote the Star Wars Dr. Anatha, I believe that's what it is. She wrote some Star Wars comics and they were received very well. And I'm happy for her. Sometimes even though it's a stereotype, it's still this writer can probably understand the culture a lot better than a writer who's not Asian or is non-Asian. They're around it. So, but this one is definitely Asian. It's a male. And I'm already calling it right now. It's not Shang-Chi, so get that out your head. Why? Because he don't need it. And you watch my video, I'll explain more to you why he don't need it. But there are some other, if they're saying it's a really new character, a fresh new character, we'll see. But there are some Asian characters in Marvel that have not been used in quite some time. So, you can see it. But all that will be shown more. You go watch my video. I'll put it up. It'll probably go up tomorrow or so. I'll show you, and you'll see more. I recorded it with wearing this shirt, so there you go. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Danny is alive. He's not dead. But he did give up. He saved the world by giving up being the Iron Fist. And how? You got to read the miniseries that was written by the legendary Larry Hanma, Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon. Go read it. It's in trade now, and you'll understand why, because it kind of takes place right after that. So yeah. Hey, Elliot, Michelangelo, that's my dude right there. Yeah, everybody loves Mikey. Mikey is the heart of the turtle. I don't care what anybody says. He is. He's the glue. He's definitely the glue that keeps the brothers together. Every time you see stories like future stories, it's always they separated because of what? Mikey died or something. And it's funny reading the Last Ronin, who is the final turtle alive in this? Michelangelo. What do you think about Will Polliter, who's playing Adam Warlock? That was very interesting. When I saw that, I'm like, whoa! I knew Adam Warlock was coming. We all knew he was coming. He's been teased for a long time throughout the first two movies, the first two Guardians movies. We saw his cocoon with the Collector, and then we see now, and then all that. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. They're going more for a younger look for him. That's fine. Maybe they want Mr. Pollard to play the character longer than just a one and done. Adam Warlock. The problem with Adam Warlock coming now is he should have been around when Thanos was, because that was one of his main purposes. But it's still going to be cool. It is. Most people complain about Iron Fist never actually read comic books about him. That's not entirely true. Uh, some of it is true. It's 50-50, 50-50 at best. Most of the people, yes, are those who are just, they know the character through some kind of means, but they look at it like, wait, he's got a dragon on his chest. He knows martial arts. He should be Asian. Yeah, but that's a stereotype because I'm not Asian. I know martial arts. So, things like that. Come on, oh boy, here we go with these questions about verses. Go on, don't you have any other questions for me? I'm just messing with you. What would the Punisher and Mad Max think each other relate? They can relate. They ain't got nothing. They wouldn't. There'd be no relate. Um, in the U.S., is it only Native American costumes that are frowned upon, or are there more? Um, yeah, there's more. There's more. It's not it's not that wearing a Native American costume, because it's not a costume. That's the reason why they're non. When they wear it, you don't know the symbolism of it. That's not a costume that they're wearing. It's so somebody dressing up as a chief, that's not a costume. Um, there are still people that look at when people dress up as black characters, non-black characters. They dress up non-blacks dressing up as black characters and paint their face, brown and everything. Some of them look at that as blackface. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and to agree, I can understand, especially if they're doing it to be funny. Yeah, but there's a part of me that doesn't get it because I know what blackface is compared to when somebody dresses up as a character of color, black character, and we're like, don't do that. Like, especially if you're non-black, you know. But there are many white characters I have dressed up as, and never painted myself white. But yeah, it's just it is a case. It's just really hard sometimes. You can't please everybody, but yeah, with the Native American stuff, yeah, that's not a joke. That's nothing to just prance around and like, yeah, look at me. No, that's not funny. It's not funny. You're and in some cases they look you're making fun of the culture. You're making fun of it. Like, that's not funny. It's as if if somebody, let's say we saw somebody dressing up as a member of the Zulu tribe or something like that. See that, and you going around doing stupid. Like, that's not funny. Why are you making fun of that? That's not funny. That's a tribe. That's a real tribe. The Zulu Nation, real tribes. You know. Um, Warhawk. I saw a group of older dressed up as Enterprise crew. Oh, that's cool. Uh, Hi, Chris. Hi, Caroline. What? Oh, boy, what would the Gargoyles think of Darkwing Duck and vice versa? I don't know. That'd be really weird to see them. That's weird. I have no big fears for No Way Home in terms of storyline and characters. Do you have any? No, not really. I'm just looking forward to seeing what it leads to, and seeing what these effects will have on Doctor Strange 2 and all that, because this is the start of the multiverse of madness and everything like that. So I'm down. I'm ready. Have you watched the Netflix called You? What? What, Travis? I don't. What are you talking about? Hey, Chris, happy belated Halloween. What is up, Juan? Hey, Chris. Hey, Rakai. Tony Montana. Venom, if Venom will appear in the Spider-Man 2 uh, game, would do you think there? Wait, if Venom will appear in Spider-Man 2, Spider Venom is appearing in that game. He is in Spider-Man 2. You think something terrible is going to happen for Miles's mother? No, I don't think so. Venom is in it, but it seems he's not main villain. It seems like the overarching villain is truly Craven, and I'm happy about that. Mirage Turtles versus the flagship Peter Jackson version. The Fellowship Peter without Gandalf, who would win? Oh, well, I don't bet against the Turtles too much, so still Turtles. Even though she looks skinnier and older, Jennifer Connelly in the 90s was a knockout. Body, face, hair, just the best. I still think she's kind of a knockout. Like, yeah. She just has this face. Like, there's some looks that she just look, and you're like, oh my God. Like, but yeah, 90s Jennifer Connelly, like her and the Rocketeer, you got to look at her. I was like, whoa, like she's bad. I wore a Fox costume for Halloween. That's nice, Eliza. Big Dave. How you feel about Dune? And I feel like it should have started off as a series, and it has some good actors and actresses in it. I didn't watch Doom yet. I definitely need to watch it. I remember the original, with Kyle McClanahan and all of them. I haven't watched it yet, but Dune Dune is a tricky one. Even though it is getting a sequel, it is a tricky one because it is really. I never read the book either, but I know it's thick. And when you step stuff like that, it should be. I feel like a series is better. Um, do you play Monster Mash every Halloween? I imagine Monster Groove into it laughing. I don't play it as much, but uh, when it comes on, yeah, I'll think about it like Monster thinks about it. One of my favorite songs, "Spooky, Scary Skeletons." I start going crazy. Xenomorphs versus Middle Earth. How do you see it going? Well, bye bye Xeno Earth, Middle Earth. Once you start seeing those, let's see. Next question: are you going to see Morbius? No, not really. Nope. Don't care about that either. I don't care anything Sony does. I really don't. I really don't. So anything Sony's attached to that I have no intention of watching. I like Morbius, but I've never really been a big fan of him solo wise. I just haven't, me, and I just no, I don't. Uh, what are the worst things you've ever seen Michael Myers do to somebody? Uh, well, the last my last Halloween Halloween Kills. Just seeing him kill those firefighters, that was just wrong. Step on somebody's head, uh, uh, break somebody's jaw. The fact that this guy is so fucking strong is crazy. Like I've seen him like break the guy's and the jaw is just like dislocked. It looks crazy. But yeah, I've seen a lot of things he's done just disturbing at times, and he'll just admire his work. I've seen, and he don't care, like don't care. Never got any, never getting, never got can Michael Myers drive. Oh, can Michael Myers drive? Yeah, he can drive. Even though he don't got no driver's license, he can drive. You go watch that first movie. He drove all the way back to Haddonfield. That was him driving. He stole the car from Dr. Loomis and drove. So yeah, if that's what you're trying to say, if the scrolls existed in the DC universe, would how would they invade? The same way they tried the secret invasion, infiltrate. That's their idea, infiltration. Um, don't you think that every voice work that Mark Hamill does lately, he almost always sounds like the Joker, for example, Skeletor? No, that's just how he. It's just how he talks. It's just how it is. With the Joker, he puts a little more bass into it. With Skeletor, it's deep and down. You could tell a difference. You, he doesn't just sound like the Joker. There's a difference of how he pronounces words as the Joker than when he was Fire Lord Ozo, or when he is Skeletor now. There's a big difference. You could tell. Uh, would you recommend me watching 25 Sin City? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's fine. Corey Hames, rest in peace. Me and my partner watched him in Just One of the Girls not long ago. Have you seen that? Just One of the Girls. I think I have. I can't recall I have, but I've seen a lot of Corey Haim movies with him, especially with him and his best friend Corey Feldman, like Lost Boys. I will always watch. I watch Lost Boys every year, even if it's even not even during Halloween. I just love Lost Boys. There's a couple of National Lampoon movies he's done, which are just funny to me. Um, as you all know, Corey Feldman is the voice of Donatello from the '90s movies. Corey Hames, you know, it's just sad that when he got clean, when he passed, like that stuff catches up to you. You know, just imagine if McGuire and Garfield don't show up in home, it will be the biggest backlash that the biggest. Um, I won't. I don't think so. I did, but I don't think so. But you're the fact that you got Jamie Foxx, Electro, and Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, and supposedly Thomas Hayden Church, Sandman, and the Lizard coming back. Like there's got to be that you're bringing it. Like you don't pull that stunt. And you got you know you got Kevin Feige over here trying to say, oh, don't believe everything. It's like, we're not stupid. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Blade Trinity sucked. Yes. Gladiator versus Invincible. Who would have been Invincible? Gladiator is strong, but he's not as strong as Mark. Mark killed him. Big difference. Do you watch the director's cut of? I have the director's cut of Daredevil, and the director cut does make it a lot better. Especially in terms of Matt as a lawyer. You actually get to see him actually working the case. There's a real case that he's working. Coolio was involved in. It was really funny. Yeah. So, staying optimistic, dude. Pretty much always. What are your thoughts? Your reaction when Mechagodzilla caused Godzilla to bleed in the original Godzilla? Uh, Sorrow. Because that's my man, the Big G, and I don't like to see him get hurt. And I like to see him get hurt in Kong versus Godzilla. When Mecha Godzilla came out, I'm like, this is it, man. Like, yo, he's getting trounced. And you think, because that's the biggest Godzilla in history. And he's just getting thrown around like a rag doll. It's like, Jesus. So I was thankful that Kong came. But make no mistake about it, to anybody who watched that movie, who really won that fight? Who was underneath the boot or foot? Yeah, that gorilla. So in my eyes, the records 1-1. There we go. Kay Sheehan. What's up, Kay? How you doing? She asks, Expendables 4, last one for Stallone. Thoughts? Yeah, Stallone came out not too long ago, and I think it was on his Instagram or so. and he announced that he's this is the last one for him. The Expendables 4. So this could be the last. We could either see Barney, his character Barney, die in this one, or just pass the torch, because he's already said, yeah, he this feels like a torch bearer passing a torch to Jason Statham's character Lee Christmas, and that'd be good. I mean, I would love to see it continue if that's the case. I think Jason Statham has the mops and chops to lead the team, you know. But at first he had left before because he was saying creative differences, but then he came back. He finished off. So yeah, it'd be great to see them, film to end it. The Expendables has just been a fun movie to me. It's just a fun movie. You get to see all the action heroes that you grew up with coming together. That was just the most. That was like the first movie we actually saw Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Willis in a movie together. It was great. It was great. It's just great. But yeah, if he is, that's fine. Uh, Tony, I just watched Candyman 2001 yesterday. I'm telling you, I've never, not saying you, I'm not, I'm never saying what 5 times in the mirror. Oh, I have not watched the 2001. It's not even a remake. It's actually a continuing of the original movie. I know that for a fact. Um, but my friend Mr. Multiverse, he saw it and he said, kind of think of this candy as kind of like the Ghost Rider. I was like, Ghost Rider. He's like, and he's like, you'll get it. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I still need to see it. But I recently watched the original Candyman not too long ago, and Tony Todd, that's the man right there, dude. Uh, what if Homer Simpson swapped bodies with Godzilla? Oh God. Yeah, you know what he'd be doing? Going in the water and farting and making waves just from his farting as Godzilla. I could see him doing that. Uh, he did in 1999. I never really called that a heel turn. Never really called Sting going heel. There was a fake Sting, and then I don't remember him going heel. I really don't. And if it did, it was short lived because I don't remember it. As a New Yorker, I wanted to know in the Daredevil Netflix, does Charlie Cox sound like a guy with a New York accent? Um, no, not really. I mean, there are people that tell me I don't have a New York accent, and that's the thing with people from New York. The accents are different. You know, you could tell somebody who is from the Bronx from their accent. So somebody who's from Manhattan from their accent, from Queens, from Brooklyn, from Staten Island. There's differences, big differences. There's still the even in and then there's differences when you go outside of the the five boroughs. If you're going upstate New York, like Buffalo and Syracuse and Albany, all those places, or even in lower Westchester County where I'm in, Mount Vernon and New Rochelle and Pelham and Terrytown and Sleepy Hollow, all those places, there's still differences. Like, you know, for example, I'll give you an example of what I appreciate about Andrew Garfield was him pulling off that Queen's accent. Yeah, he did a great job of that. It comes out from time to time. And most times people will say, like for example, Alyssa Milano. When you hear her talk, you're like, she's not from Brooklyn. And she'll let you know straight up, like, it'll come out. Her Brooklyn accent comes out from time to time when she needs it to come out. Like, and most of the time it comes out when most of us, when we get angry, our New York accent, then it just shows. Or we get excited, then it comes out. So yeah, but Charlie Cox, he did a pretty good job as just voicing a an American, and that's just in general. Most British actors can pull off the American accent pretty well. The ones I remember watching a video about UK actors, and they talked about American accents, and they were like, "What's the hardest to do?" And they said the Southern, and they're right. I can believe that. So yeah, and probably some of the North New England accents, like trying to pull off somebody who's from Boston. You know, like you could tell I'm not from Boston because there's a different way New Englanders say Boston or certain things that Uh, it was a brute. Vince Russo. Yeah, that's why I probably don't remember it. Vince Russo. Jesus Christ. Hey Chris, how's everything been? Hey Andre, I'm good. I'm refreshed. Had a long weekend, so. Do you think that Kratos will die in the next God of War? And what shall we nope, I do not think Kratos is gonna die in the next one. I don't. No way. They're probably gonna have him move on to another another land of with another pantheon. I'm just saying, like, I don't want him. What I don't want is him just going to other countries with another pantheon of gods just to kill. Like, chill with that. Like, no. But just to see him with Tear, it was great. Like when Tear stood up and Kratos is looking up at him, I was like, yeah, that's great stuff. And the one thing I defend, well, not defended because I know the difference, but the biggest thing that's coming out of the next guy was like what Thor looks like, and I'm like, first of all, Thor's not blonde in the text. Okay, two, this is not Marvel's Thor. This is more based off of the real source and mythology of this character. So him looking kind of overweight and fat to most, if you look at Vikings wise, most Vikings weren't. Most people think Vikings were big, muscular dudes. They're not. Scientists have shown that, or it's shown like most of them didn't even reach over 6 feet tall, but they came off so fierce because of their ferociousness. Yeah, so but seeing that Thor, I'm like, okay, but that's more of the Thor that we know in Scandinavian history and culture. Like once again, people playing that first game and people playing that the first game, and the stranger that comes by and smacks Thor and everything. I mean, smacks Thor, smacks Kratos, and things like. And I'm like, I instantly knew they were calling the stranger, but I quickly knew who that was. You didn't even have to tell me who that was. I instantly said, that's Balder. That's Balder. Even before he even said, you can't hurt me, I'm like, it's Balder. Balder, right there. And I'm glad they used Balder and not Thor first. It's just, I knew it. There were a lot of people that didn't know. I knew it. I'm like, it's Balder. Yep. But I don't think they're going to kill him off. No way. I mean, I don't. In case it's a lap in my question. It's because I'm in the middle of a move and sort of I'm not being say be back soon. Oh, okay, cool. Uh, are you gonna watch the future Batgirl movie on HBO Max? I will watch it. I will watch it, and now more importantly, I will watch it because my man Brendan Fraser is gonna be in it. So definitely for him. If not, I've been loving this resurgence for Brendan Fraser, and he deserves it. He's earned it. The stuff that he's gone through, is sucked. You know, with his ex-wife and things like that. But glad to see that he's getting back on his feet. And he's going to be playing uh, Firefly. I still wish this first Batgirl movie wasn't about Firefly and more about Barbara's brother, James Gordon Jr., her psychopath serial killer brother. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be that, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm not keen on the character. I'm not keen on the actress playing Barbara because I'm like, so they race changed her. Yeah, and they didn't even get a real redhead actor. Another redheaded character bites the dust. Yeah. So no, my Mincho has always has the most potential. What are your thoughts on Young Justice season 4, Phantoms? Haven't watched it yet. Haven't sat down and watched it yet. I'm going to watch them soon, like the first. But I've already heard they killed off Superboy and John Jones, and I'm like, okay, what are y'all doing? Like, they actually did confirm that from Batgirl that Barbara will have a cowl and red hair. Okay, still, she's not a redheaded actress. Okay, still, it still bugs me that you all these fictional redheaded characters and there's no redheaded actresses younger. Yeah, there's a few older ones, but younger to play these roles. And still, you can't change the fact that she is Latin. So that's gonna be a big. That's kind of a question. Like, there's no need to do that. Why? But I'm gonna watch it. It's just sad about it. Besides the Born Again storyline, what other Daredevil storylines would you recommend? All of the Born Again is great, but the Bendis his run was great. His run, that was definitely when Iron Fist, when Matt was in jail for another time. That was the first time he was in jail, and there was a Daredevil protecting, and then when Matt got out and confronted the Daredevil, it turned out to be Iron Fist. It was Iron Fist, and that was a great reveal. He and his fist just glue, and he's like, Danny? And so Danny was disguised as Iron Fist. Danny was disguised as Daredevil while he was in prison. Right now, the current stuff that Chip Zdarsky is writing, oh my God, it's just good shit. So all that stuff, like, it's not just one. It's not just one. It's just not a storyline. It's just somebody's run. So yeah. What horror character should fight Hellboy? Michael Myers. Do you think some of the people Punisher killed deserved it? What do you think? If so, it's so sad to see how how Michael J. Fox Parkinson is affecting him more and more. The man is a true. I met Michael J. Fox, so I met him 2 years ago, MegaCon, Orlando MegaCon. I met him because the whole cast was down there for MegaCon, and I met him. He was coming through because he was trying to get to his podium, and I met him. He came through, everybody, and he was shaking hands, and you know, and I got to shake my hand, and he shook my hand. He's like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good, Mr. Fox," but you can tell, like, as much as involuntary shaking it is, like it's not just the head now; it's the hands. You see it, like, and I feel so bad for him, like. He keeps his hands in his pockets now, or he holds his hands, and it's just bad. It's terrible. I hate it. I don't like seeing him like that. But he is a fighter, and he continues to act. He's acting ain't gonna stop him. He's not gonna stop acting, which I'm glad he don't. That Parkinson has not stopped his brain, has not stopped his mouth from. He can still go, but it's the fact is, there's no cure for it. It sucks. What would the Gargoyles think of the Turtles? I think they would get along pretty well. That's more of something I would love to see, the Turtles and the Gargoyles. Uh, So what do you think about the upcoming Black Adam movie with The Rock? I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to that. Indeed, very much so. I'm looking forward to Captain Marvel 2, um, uh, Wrath of the Gods or something like that. Yep, looking forward to that. Um, I'm looking forward to the Black Adam as well because it's going to have the JSA in it, and they announced that Pierce Brosnan's Doctor Fate and Hawkman are the veteran members. They're training the new members, Atom Smasher and Cyclone, and once again another redheaded character. So you see a trend, right? Yeah. What was your reaction? What would your reaction be if a toddler around the age of 2 or 3 somehow got a hand of the One Ring on hands on the One Ring, the One Ring? Are we talking a Green Lantern ring or One Ring, or are we talking one of the rings from the Mandarin? Uh, be a little more specific with that one. Eternals is getting mixed reviews, but how do you feel about that? I don't care because that's them. I don't care. I don't give rot two shits of what. I don't give two squats what the you know Rotten Tomato, all of them think. I don't care. Hey, I'm going to see it for myself. That's who's mine. I'm on. It's me, not them. I care less about that. Oh, it's 56. I give a damn. Like, if you like the movie, fine. But I could care less what critics say. And yeah, we technically kind of are critics too. But when I do my music, I'm giving you my perspective, my opinion of the movie. Like, for example, I still need to put up my Halloween Kills review. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I was disappointed, very disappointed. Why? You'll find out. I just recently watched the Injustice animated movie. Didn't like it. Why? You'll find out. As but yeah, and stuff like that. There's another movie that just finally came out, Antlers, a horror movie about the freaking Wendigo. Finally, I'm gonna watch it. I've been waiting to see that movie. You know, uh, gotta see Rocky versus Drago. You gotta see Rocky versus Drago director's cut. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm always interested in what footage has been taken out, like because I just recently found out not too long. I was telling Malcolm, there was a director's cut for Commando, one of my favorite Arnold movies. And I'm like, wait, there's a director's cut? It came out it came out 14 years ago. They brought it out and it was a Best Buy exclusive. And I've been looking to get it. I'm like, oh, get my hands on it. I'll just add it to my collection, But I got to see like how much minutes of footage has been taken out. Not a lot, really, not a lot, but it gave you more in depth into, for example, um, what happened to Jenny's mom. If you remember the movie, Alyssa Milano plays Arnold's daughter and Jenny, and we get an in depth into what happened to her mother in the movie, but they took those parts out. But it actually is like could have been good to keep in there for people like, okay, so where's her mom? Like, I mean, sure, people can use their imagination, but yeah, I want to check that out. Definitely want to check Rocky. I love Rocky 4. It is one of my favorite Rockies. Um, Especially the music. I love that music. Will get me all the time. So yeah. There's no easy way out. Sorry. Michael Mann, yo, what is your interpretation on and Nas and Eminem doing collabos and featuring with each other? I love it. Um, it'd be great. I love it. I'd be all for it. More of it. I know they've done some in the past, but I would be all over it. Bringing previous Spider-Man villains after compliments about Vulture and Mysterio being angry men because of Iron Man makes it look like MCU Spidey can have his own villains. What do you think? Doubtful. No, because let's be honest, we all want a Doc Ock somewhere in the line, so why not just bring a Doc Ock from the multiverse? What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Using Mysterio mad at he wasn't that he was mad at his like he stole his whole life, but still they still kept the essence of Quentin Beck. He was kind of in effects, so fine. Um, Vulture, Adrian Toomes, they could have went the old. They lucky they went Michael Keaton. They could have went really geriatric Vulture. You know, and they went Michael Keaton, and he was scary and he was good. You know, so them bringing in they messed with the multi, messed with. You saw that spell. He knew he messed with it, and but the thing is, there's a lot of people that's feeling like that's not even Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange would never do that. Just say, okay, you know what? Let's. I have the belief that it ain't him. Hey Chris, you missed my question about thoughts on Howling. Well, don't need it because I just talked about it. There you go. If I missed it, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Who do you think will win between Jada Kiss and you putting Jada against anybody? Jada winning. That's about a question. Beanie Siegel, please. Jenny, Jada, eat him alive. Um, would the Joker tell Luke Skywalker? Would the Joker tell Luke Skywalker that he sounds like him? No, because he doesn't. Like, uh, what do you think? What do you see as Jada Kiss's best bar or rhyme? That's tough, and I'm not even going to go into that. That's tough. There's too many. So, do you think the Inhumans could still work in the MCU? Yes, I do. They should have stayed in the MCU. They should have stayed just an MCU movie, not that garbage TV show that they tried to pull off. That was the worst idea. That, thank God that goddamn, those Loeb and all of them are not doing TV anymore for Marvel. They're done. Thank God. Um, hold on. Um, let's see. Next. Sorry about that. Got a text message from my dad. Where are we? I lost where I was. Got a lot of questions coming. That's good. That's good. That's good because I'm not wrapping this up anytime soon, so it's good. All right. Okay. Which actor do you think can play Nova? Depends on which Nova. If it's Richard Rider, still tough. It depends on how young they want Richard, because in the comics he started as a teenager and then he grew into a man. So it depends. And fan casting on the fly is a little hard for me. I don't like I that takes time. I used to say one could have been Jared Palisky, from who's on the Supernatural, who played no, it was Dean and Sam, who played Sam. Yeah, I thought he could have done it. So who do you think would win, Vegeta or Omni Man? Uh, I depends on which Vegeta we talking. Like Are we talking now Vegeta or past Vegeta? Come back to me with that one. Do you enjoy any songs, tune jams, or joints by Ja Rule? I like Ja. I don't hate Ja Rule. I do like a lot of his songs. Not all of them. Um, yeah, don't bring no Greek menus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I like I like his song New York. I love that song because I love that beat. You know, that 100 clip from New York, like that. Um, I do like I Cry. I do like that. Um, Holla Holla, everybody got like. I like those songs. It was a big year for Ja. I'll give 2000. Once he started fucking with 50, he was done. And now he has to make fake commercials, and then he messed with M. Done. I don't care what anybody says. Don't bring this man's kids into it. When he started talking about Haley, I even said, yo, M, crush him. Like, don't bring somebody's kids into a feud or something. Like, what's wrong with you? Screw out of me, man. I can't stand him. Amber too. Well, see, most of the people not see all you people who are saying that now, you guys never read the Invincible comics. If you'd have read the comics and you watched the show, you would have known this was going to happen. Me, who know the comics, read the comics before even the series was even. I knew that. I knew this stuff, and I was just like, I'm wondering how people are going to take this. For me, it was just, are they going to do the turn in the first season, or are they going to wait? And the fact that they did it there, I was like, yeah, I knew it. You know, I wasn't surprised at the graphics either, because even in the comics, that's how graphic those comics get. Wait till you see the fight with Mark and Conquest. You'll see real quick. Jesus Christ. So I'm not shocked that anybody's saying it now, because you, Caroline, and other people, you guys sound like you never read the comics, so you don't know. Not judging you, not knocking you, but that's the response I would get from somebody who never read the comics. Wait till you see Mark. I will spoil this, but Mark gets a brother. He gets a little brother soon. Omni Man has a child with an alien, and his little brother comes to Earth. What do you think of Emma Stone as Spider Gwen? I love Emma, so I wouldn't mind seeing Spider Gwen. It's something about Emma Stone. Here's the thing about Emma Stone that just allures me about her. Yes, is she a very attractive woman? Yes, she is. But to me, it is that raspy voice she has. I don't know what it is about that voice, but it's just, I find that so sexy. I'm like, oh my God, that raspy voice. Like, it's just something about it. I love it. Um, are you sad that Tim Allen didn't come back to play Buzz Lightyear? No, I'm not. Because to me, this Lightyear movie is not directly based off of the Toy Stories. This seems to be more of an origin story, and hopefully it is actually more of based off of the Buzz Lightyear Star Command TV series where he had other squad members and things like that. I don't mind. It was Chris Evans. I'm down. That don't even bother me none bit. I watched that trailer and I was like, yeah, I like that. Just wanted to hear him speak. And I was like, all right, we good. Throg was most strongest people. Um, so what do you think about the new live action Cowboy Bebop series? Go watch my reaction, and you'll see. If anything you guys ask me about, what do I think of this? I got I put up reactions of all those things. Go watch them. There you go. You'll see it. I don't need to tell you. Go watch it. It's right there for you. You know, go watch it. Tony Todd, very scared. Yeah, but He has a very scary voice, but I've heard from people who've met him. He's like one of the nicest dudes you ever meet. So, besides Injustice Game, is there a scene in any media where Bruce says out loud that Dick is his son? Um, he said it in the comics. As for other mediums, he's never. I don't think he's ever said it in the other cartoons. But comic wise, yeah, yes, I've heard him say it. Uh, what part of California do you appreciate best? Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, or San Diego? Well, it depends on. I can only speak for where I've been in California. I've been to LA once. I've never been to Oakland, but Oakland, I give Oakland a lot of respect because it's just Oakland. It's just, but also because it's the home of my favorite football team. I don't give a damn what people say. They will always be the Oakland Raiders. Don't call them that other name. Fuck you with that. Never been to San Diego. Never been to the 619. And my parents, when we were living in California, they've been to San Francisco. I've never been to San Francisco, but I'd love to go to San Fran as well. But yeah, I've been to LA, and I lived in Monterey, so Monterey is not that far from LA, but never been to Oakland and San Francisco and San Diego. You got a pack member in the group chat right now, Galactus Girls from San Diego. Give her a shout out. Um, did the Penguin always have a British accent, or it differs from stories? That's kind of a differ from stories. Like, there are times they'll have that the Cobbleplots came from money too, so they'll add that. But that's just to defer what it is. Nolan North gave him that more Cockney accent. He's like, "Oh, come over here, boys." Yeah. You hear how he talks in like the Arkham games. Nolan North gave him that very Cockney accent, so he breaks out. He breaks out into that. But the series, gave him more of in the animated series, gave him more of that regal kind of speak. But if you watch that first movie, Danny DeVito wasn't speaking with an accent. He's just speaking his regular voice. It differs. It definitely differs. Whoever's writing it. I don't think it would make sense for Cradles to die. This is coming from Akira Lost Soul. Very interesting name. Me too. I don't think he's gonna die. I really don't. Um, in all honesty, he shouldn't die because one, well, he can die because he's not a god. He's a demigod. He's not a god. I don't know why they keep calling him a god. He's a demigod. He's like Hercules. A Hercules. He's not because his mother was a mortal. His father is Zeus. He's a demigod. You know how his dad. That Zeus can't stop but sticking his penis into anybody. He's the biggest player in history. I guess you could kind of say he's the first cheater in history. That man would stick his dick in any woman he saw, and you wonder why Hera is so pissed off, right? Fuck Zeus. It is true that New York City was not what it once was in terms of tourism visitors, field trip takers, and is it true? No, I don't from my understanding, no. Um, no matter where you're from, if you're definitely, let's take out the states for example. But anybody from another country, I guarantee you, when they say I want to come to the United States, they will always say straight off the bat, I got to go to New York first before going to any of the other states. They got to. And I think it's almost like in their DNA. Why? Because that was the first stop when you came to the States. You had to come to Ellis Island first, get documented everything, and now you're. And I think it's just something. I know people may not look at it, but trust me, I've been to it. It is something awe of seeing the Statue of Liberty. It is just something about it. You just look at it, you just like you forget that. Sometimes you forget that that statue was a gift. Not only was it a gift, it was brought over. I'm still trying to bug out about that. How was that brought over? Like at that time, like how was that brought over by boat? I'm sure that boat had to nearly be sinking, you know, across the Atlantic. It's just crazy sometimes. It's just something about is the sites. It's not the biggest building in New York anymore, but still something about looking at the Empire State Building or going up to Harlem and seeing the Apollo Theater. That is like the who's who of people that got started at that theater. It's incredible, you know, from Rockefeller Center in this like I can tell you that for a fact because I had a friend who came to New York for the first time and I showed her around and she was like, "Can you take me to Rockefeller Center?" We went right to Rock. She got to see Rockefeller Center first time. And I think I've showed you a picture of me and my friend. She was there and she got to visit Rockefeller Center and she got to see the big tree and this is during the holidays and she was like, yeah, I remember seeing this in Home Alone 2. Is Times Square just as bright as they make it? Yes, it is. Times Square is at night. That is probably that area just is lit. The power bill alone, I don't know how much, but the lights are just blind. I can tell you for a fact that yeah, back in the day, Times Square was not a place you wanted to be at night. It was not the place to be. It was just full of hookers and pimps and porn shops and all kinds of stuff like that. Um, but it changed, over time. It is a place now you want to be. You want to get pictures and things. Every time I go into the city, I see tourists all the time, like just tourists that literally just got off the plane or something. And most of the time is they're either they're British, or they're from they're Asian. And then like, can you show me where do I go to? Can you show me point to Times Square? Can you tell me where Times Square is? Yeah, it's tourism is still big in New York, and then there's also times where I tell people because I get it a lot when I tell people like it's not just New York City you should visit. You want to? I always recommend don't just stop with New York City. Go to other areas of New York, like northern New York. Like there's some great place. There's an apple orchard that I used to go to as a kid for apple season. It is like one of the oldest orchards and still owned by the same family in New York. You want to go to Niagara Falls? Go there. Go to Niagara Falls. You'll be on the American side, but you can see the Canadian side right across from there. You want to travel a lot of trails, the Appalachian trails. These are just good stuff. Like it's not just like I can say that about probably a lot of places, a lot of states, but New York is still gets a lot of tourism. It's a lot of trips. The people still come here and it's happy. I'm happy to do. But yeah, people go other places. What I do notice though is to end it, and I'm not picking on any of them, but most Aussies that I've seen, or they will stay on the coastal states. When I was in Florida, saw a lot of Australians in Florida, um, and California. They will stay on the coastal states, and I think mostly because of Australia being a big island, and most of the cities are coastal cities, and they want to be closer to the water. And let's be honest, not all of them are really comfortable, depending on where. Coming cold. Ooh, for anybody who's you got to be prepared sometime for the winter. Like especially you coming in the winter. Winter in New York can be sometimes brutal. Like I ain't even joking. But I've been here so long, I'm used to it. It's like snow. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Don't bother me. That's what it is. Um, so, any particular thoughts on the upcoming Just League versus Legion of Superheroes story that's coming out next year? Oh, there! I didn't see that. I got to check that out. I'll see where it is. Ever seen The Shape of Water, Chris? I have. Not bad. What are your thoughts and expectation for The Boys season 3? I don't know. Um, I don't know where they're gonna take that. Between Jay Z, Kanye West, Benny Siegel, Memphis Bleak, Young Guns, Cameron, Twista, what Rockefeller artist did you see the most worth investing into? Jay Z for sure. Um, Cameron a little bit when he came on. Twista, mostly Jay Z. I didn't care too much for Memphis. Not too much for Beanie either. Um, or the Young Guns. I didn't. None of them really. I didn't have a lot of faith in that they were going to last. What would John Madden be like if he got the one ring? What is the one ring? Yo, tell me. Okay. Between and some more rap questions. Between 50 Banks, yeah, yo. Um, who do I relate to? Who do I relate to the most? Uh, none of them really. I don't think I relate to any of them. I don't think I relate to any of them. Game is not with G Unit anymore. He left long time, so none of them. I don't think I relate to any of them. I don't. Are you going to read Tony uh, Tony Schiavone's graphic novel? Yeah, I probably will. There's a lot of novels by wrestlers I want to read. I still need to read JR's books. I don't know how Jericho. I think put out like 7 already. Um, Mankind. Malcolm has a couple of their books, but yeah, Tony Soprano. I will definitely read. I've always liked Tony Soprano. What do you like best about Chicago? Never been to Chicago, but it is a place I want to go. Um, to me, the people. The people of Chicago remind me of the people of New York. Strong-willed, hardworking. There's some bad eggs, of course, there, but strong-willed. But it's got my Chicago Bulls there, so of course the teams. But you I talk about weather is cold, but Illinois, I got a friend that lives in Illinois. Got a couple of friends there, and I do not envy them when it comes to them winters. When I be seeing Chicago's -11, I'm like, God damn, like what the hell? Like Scott Lang, Matt Murdock, Patsy Walker didn't have red hair and notable complaints, and nobody complained about that. Where you been reading that? Because there was a couple of people that have complained about that. I've seen them plenty of times. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference because one, Daredevil wasn't always redheaded. Yeah, did you know that? No, he wasn't. He wasn't always redheaded. Uh, Patsy wasn't always redheaded either. It's a big difference. But there have been complaints. But when you have a character like Red Sonja, who's coming out with another movie, Hayden John Kamen is going to play her. Now, looking at her, this 5'8", this woman is 5'8". She's only 3 inches smaller than the Red Sonja. Red Sonja is almost 6 feet tall. She's 5'11". But if you look at her, look how big, wide her shoulders are. I look at her and I'm like, I was just looking at her today. And I'm like, if she puts on the right amount of muscle, she's perfect. Her sword and trains real well with swords. She's gonna sell Red Sonja more with her eyes because that's really what's gonna you go because once she comes out with that movie, there's everybody's gonna be like, if it does well, everybody and her performance as well as the she devil, everybody's gonna be like, Bridget, who? Oh yeah, Brigitte Nielsen played her. Yeah, she did. But oh, Miss Kamen did a great job. Go look at pictures of her, and you're like, that girl's pretty big. Like her shoulder, like I saw a picture, her delts and her shoulders are so wide. But it's like if she imagine her just put on the right amount of muscle, she's gonna be perfect. It reminds me of when who was attached to play Red Sonja before? Uh um oh my god. Oh god, what's her name? Jesus. I can't remember her name. What I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. Uh I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. Rose McGowan. There we go. Rose McGowan. Thank you. Rose McGowan, when she was attached to play Red Sonja, when they were going to do it before, she got into she packed on so much muscle. She looked like a giant compared to the man talking to her, interviewing her. She was at San Diego Comic Con. I forgot which one, and they showed her. And I kid you not, as soon as she came on, I'm like, that ain't Rose McGowan. Her arms were so big. I'm like, nah, that's not her. She towered over, and I'm like, yeah, she put on that muscle for Red Sonja. She was talking about she just finished sword training. Now she's gonna learn how to ride a horse. And I was just through. Never went through. So now we got Miss Hannah on Kamen playing the woman who played the ghost and who's going to play Jill Valentine in the next in the new Resident Evil movie. Yeah, man, like I'm really interested in seeing her. Sure they're going to give her a wig, but still, my issue with it and is the fact that my problem with the reason why I'm not it's not even an issue, it's more of a like it's a little nitpick at it is because have you guys did they even try to cast real natural redheads? Now the difference between Red Sonja and people like MJ, their hair is fiery red. No redhead has that kind of hair. That's fiery red. But still, but with Barbara Gordon, she's a known redhead. Barbara Gordon has always been redhead. So why not? Why didn't they try to go for an actress, even if she's an upcoming actress? Try to go for it. You see where I'm coming from? I hate to use them, but even even Ben Affleck's Daredevil pulled off the redhead. His hair was red. It was like, well, it was dark red, but you could see it. Even he took that detail. Like, okay. But the thing is, some people don't always go with detail. Does it hurt the character sometimes? No, because Scott Lang, who was played by I'm forgetting names right now. I'm forgetting fucking. Why am I bugging out with names? Uh, Jesus Christ, I'm bugging out with names now. That bothers me when I can't remember names. Uh, Paul Rudd, excuse me. you could kind of get away with it because his Scott Lang is not so different from the comics to a degree. But, you know, to me, there are some characters that takes away from their character. Like, for example, I like Zazie Beetz, but her Domino, I did not. There was sometime I forget, oh yeah, she's Domino. It's like taking away her white skin. She looks like there's a reason why she's called Domino. Like her white skin, black is like that. That is part of her character. You don't give them that. It's like that's like saying, oh, do Colossus, but he doesn't go metal. Or you do, let's say, Nightcrawler, and he's not blue skinned, but he still looks like a demon. It's like that's not Nightcrawler. That's that's not Nightcrawler. Beast you can get away with because Beast was once he looked human, but just had big hands and he looked like a human native gorilla. And then you do the fur. That's like saying, let's use another example. It's like you do, let's say we do Spider Man. He doesn't have his spider sense. He doesn't have he's not able to stick to walls. All he has, power wise, is his superhuman strength. He ain't Spider Man, then. That's the same thing. That's the same issue what a lot of people are having with the MCU version of Kamala Khan. There's rumors that she will not have her regular powers. She's going to have some kind of more construct, energy based powers. And I'm giving my opinion on that. Go watch it. I'll give you a little bit of it, but you should go watch it. Basically, it to me, the bottom line to me is they don't want anybody with embigum or elongated powers until the OG elongated hero Reed Richards comes. Just saying. Okay. Stop Ginger Racer. I like that. That's a good one. Does anything about Houston draw you in? Yeah, Texas. A lot of places. Texas draws me in. I love to go to Texas. I got a couple of good friends that live in Texas, moved to Texas and things like that. Never been to Texas. Never been to any parts of Texas. So Texas does draw me in, especially Houston. Definitely. Daredevil got the worst luck. Sometimes not as bad as Peter. That's why they work so well together. Speaking of Michael Myers, what are your thoughts on Halloween Kills? You will have to wait until my review goes up. Then you'll see. Between VHS, DVDs, HDs, Blu-rays, and stream, what generation of films and TV shows were you most addicted to? Um, in terms of those TV shows, most addicted to, I miss the old school 1 hour action shows like Xena and Hercules. I miss those. That's why I'm glad I got those on like DVDs. Um, I miss you know what I miss about TV shows? I miss openings, especially with cartoons. I miss that. Do you think Nas made enough of a legacy on his own? You damn right. That's an oxymoron question right there. You damn right he did. Just recently, LL and Jay Z went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Do they deserve that? Hell yeah. However, the problem is now that we do have a hip hop museum right in the South Bronx, I believe they were already added, but still, there needs to be a hip hop Hall of Fame. You know, I always feel like there should be. It's weird to see people like I said, LL, Stevie Wonder, Dr. Dre, and people like that in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yes, there are some similarities of rock and hip hop, and they do make a good combination. Nobody can tell me any differently that Walk This Way don't work. But there needs to be a Hall of Fame for every genre. I'm just saying. Uh, Here's a question: do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Pretty much. What Bone Thugs and Harmony song blew you away with their raps? They all did because they were rapping so fast. That was just crazy. Do you think Superman could take Apocalypse? Yes, I do. What is the weather at Orchard Beach in the Bronx? Usually like, and people over time in terms of attitude. And I haven't been to Orchard Beach in years. I have not, so I can't tell you. When I used to go, it was fine. It was fine. More and more people are becoming aware of Amber Heard's BS. And I'm afraid it will impact Aquaman's success negative. Do you think? I believe that will too. And did fuck yeah. And fuck Warner Brothers for allowing her to still be on. Yeah, you talk about the once again the you know that y'all take Johnny Depp off all his roles, but you don't take Amber Heard off. Fuck Warner Brothers for that. That fuck Warner Brothers for continue that. If I'm on the set of Aquaman, I understand Momoa saying he wants to be professional. I get that, but my professionalism will only go too far because I will clearly pull her aside and like, no, that's fucked up what you did, and I would literally tell her straight up, you know, that's fucked up what you did. You do anything on this set, I'll get you fired real quick. I'm the star, not you. I would make that. You remember who's the star of this movie? Me, and I'd get you fired. She should not be anywhere. She should have been recasted real quick. The fact that Warner Brothers allowed still is using her as Mira, fuck, 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 fuck Warner Brothers. There's a point where I've already had friends who've already said they are boycotting that movie. They will not go watch it because of her. And you know what? I can understand that because that's bullshit. They got her on fucking tape saying all this bullshit, and it's that double standard bullshit that just sucks. Is Johnny Depp's career over? I'm not going to go there, but it does suck that he's not getting. I don't see him in that many movies now. It's fucked up. It's just fucked up. It really is. How do you feel about Star Sapphire as a character? It's okay. Well, she's a part of the Star Sapphire core, so depends on which one you're talking about. Does the new Scream movie look like it may be as good as the first one based on it? Yes, indeed. I am looking forward to the fifth one. This looks darker. This looks more serious. Looks like the jokes are gone. It looks straight serious. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see who the killer is. But I love that line, Dewey is happening again. And, Sydney's like, and I love when dudes say, are you strapped? You basically, she's like, I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course, I was like, that's your final girl right there. Sydney Prescott is right up there with Laurie Strobes as the best final girl, period. No, I can't wait to that. Any questions I ask about the one is, the Lord. See, I only watched Lord of the Ring once. I'm not an avid Lord of the Ring uh, fan. I'm not a watcher. So thank you for. Uh, but the child doing that, Jesus Christ. Okay, what movies do you find to be way over the top? Um, a lot of horror movies from the early 2000s were way over the top. You know, um, just I'll also go any Quentin Tarantino movies is over the top with the amount of blood. I'm like, the human body don't have that much blood, like just buckets of it. I'm like, Where's all this blood coming from? No way. It's ridiculous. Um, I was talking about former Harlem kingpin Apollo, who was killed on. Well, I don't stay all that up top on drug lords. So thank you. Do you think Alyssa Milano would have been a good Catwoman or Mystique? Oh hell yeah! Look, I'm okay. I got a super crush on Alyssa Milano as a kid, and I still do now. So yeah, yes, indeed. No, I'm not even joking. Will Miser, did you hear The Rock and Techno? I did. I was. It's just weird. It was fun, but I did like it. What are your thoughts? What are your reaction to KRS One and Big Daddy Kane versus? What do you? What was your reaction to the big? I didn't see it. Um, I didn't see it, but it'd be cool. I grew up with both of those guys. Uh, Cody Travis versus Biscuit Oliver in a prison fight. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Um, how do you think Allison's character will change in Halloween Ends? It's gonna change big time because look at the shit she lost. She lost her father, now she lost her mother, which was stupid. First of all, it was stupid that she lost her mom. I didn't get that at all in that ending. That ending bothered me so much. I'm like, why are you going back in that house? Why are you going in that house? What was the purpose of that? It was stupid. Um, and then some people are saying Allison, her mom survived, but I'm like, and not the fact that the ends is going to take place 4 years after kills. So I think Allison may become just like her grandma, very intense, very paranoid, and out for revenge. She may become Punisher like, and that will get her fucking killed. If she don't know how to channel that anger, she gonna get killed. She almost died in this one. Excuse me. Hey Xian, what are your thoughts on the upcoming She-Hulk series? Looking forward to it. You guys, you know me. I'm a huge She-Hulk fan. I am so looking forward to seeing Jen Walters debut in the MCU. I am so looking forward to it. It's finally good to see another member of the Hulk family come. Good shit. I also didn't care for the Injustice movie. I'm so sick of the evil Superman shtick. Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of people are just really sick of this evil Superman stuff, you know. And I have the utmost respect for Superman, but to me, I don't think he would flip and turn like that, even if Lois died. He's too noble and too to let that really affect him to the point where, oh, I'm going to go evil now and become basically a big dictator and kill innocent people. The shit they did in that, oh my god, I can't wait to talk about that. There's a scene in there. I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, somebody's been watching. The writers were watching too much of The Boys or watch too much Homelander because I was like, Superman would never fucking do that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that was disgusting. That's I'm not even. Oh Jesus. What do you think of the new show? I know what you did last summer. Haven't watched it yet. I know it's on Prime. Haven't watched it yet. I have Prime. Haven't watched it yet. Um, what is it? Was this really needed for a TV show? Not really, but who knows? I'll check it out. Do you think Shaq is a decent actor? No, I don't. Funny? Yes. Actor wise? Hell no. Will Smith's reaction to Jada telling him on public display that she's cheating on entanglement really makes me uh, 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 wait, hold on, I'm reading too fast. Will's reaction to entanglement makes me dis, despicable. Makes her really do. What do you think? At least she had the balls to tell him. I guess. Some women probably would have never told. So it does make, but now she's starting to come out. Jada's starting to come out a lot now and saying a lot of things. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, she talking about she's having trouble and like, yeah, it is a double standard. It is a double standard with her reaction, and I feel that Will should have been a little more upset about it. Like, basically, you admitted that you cheated on me. Like entanglement, like using. I never hear that before. Like, just you were going to say it was an entanglement. No, just come on, say, woman. Just say, woman. Look, I cheated on you. I had I had sexual relationship with another man, and I'm married to you. Nah, you no, you're gonna say it was an entanglement. I do like Will's like an entanglement, like, but still, Will should have been like pissed, and nobody would have been mad at him if he did. But it was just weird. It was weird. What do you think of LL Cool J these days, and what he does on stage arenas? I love LL. I'll always love LL. LL gets nothing but love from me. Uh, I would never. This I respect L too much. Never even met the man, but I respect him too much. I've been riding with that dude too long, and I don't mean that sexually, but yeah, I've been riding with him for too long for me to, man, I hate LLs. Man, fuck him. Nah. It's always nothing but respect. You know why I respect him so much? Because he's one of few hip hop artists that can clearly say that they finished the contract they first signed and completed that contract. When he signed the Def Jam, the contract was for 13 albums. He did that. He did that. He didn't switch over to another brand or another studio. No, he continued that contract and finished it out. Even when he went off and did movie roles, he's still putting out music. And nobody can tell me LL's music is not banging. I don't care what anybody says. Still to this day, I get riled up and amped when I hear Mama Said Knock You Out. And all the different remixes of people who've done that is great. Even his love songs, I love. It's like I'm lounging to them songs. Lounging. That was one of his songs, Lounging. He's great. And you can see now, where's he see where he at? Where's Cannabis now? Hmm? And Cannabis wanted to come at him. What happened? Hell ate him alive with that one song, Can I Bust? Hell is the man, and he always will be. He is one of the GOATs, and nobody will take that from him. Nobody. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski might be too old to play Reed Richards. Do you have any potential actors? Nope, because why would they're old? Reed is old. He's a little older than what do you think? Like he's John Krasinski is what? How old is he? And you got he can't be no older than he's not even in his 40s yet, right? How old is he? There's no way he's not even in his 40s. Oh, he's 42. Tony, Robert Downey Jr. was how old when he got casted as Iron Man? Think about that. Emily Blunt. I'm a year older than Emily Blunt. Like what? Come on, please. That's ridiculous. As of right now, ain't no other potentials right now in my book. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Maybe. If y'all want it, I'll do it. Um, Andre, I'll be more specific. Who do you think would win win between Dragon Ball Super Vegeta and Omni Man. Ooh, okay, now we're talking. Um, I'll say Vegeta. I'll say Vegeta because Voldemites are strong, but they're not invincible. They can be killed. They can be killed. They're not Kryptonians. They're not. They can be killed. They can be hurt. And I could see Vegeta beating Omni Man. I can. Do you think Fat Joe is a good promoter or host? Fat Joe promotes. He's a good promoter. I think he is. Do you think Little Mo and Aaliyah are okay music? We talking Aaliyah, right? Hell yeah, she was. What dude, that's not even a question. Aaliyah was a treasure and sad that she's gone now. She wasn't even at the height of her career. Uh-uh. Chris, I know I'm late. My last, I know last there was mentioned a girl at the end of it. Did you make a move yet on her? Uh, we're still talking. There you go. We're talking. Who do you think Bill Murray will play in? That's a rumor. That's just a rumor. There's more, but it's just a rumor. It's nothing is solid. The GTA trilogy is already on almost every console. Do you think the upcoming release of many of these same consoles is necessary? Are you going to buy them? You talking about am I going to get a PS5? Yes, I will get a PS5. Because of exclusivity. Yeah, I can't even speak now. The exclusive content is where it's at. That's where the consoles, when you get a console that has exclusive stuff, Sony, the PS5 has probably the best exclusive stuff than the latest Xbox. I, I and there's no new Nintendo stuff coming out, but the only thing I will say with Nintendo, they get to get Bayonetta. Their Bayonetta is exclusive to Nintendo, which just boggles me. But whoa, I'm like, congratulations. But that's the only place. Sony is the only place you can play the Spider-Man game. You can't play that on. You can't play that on Xbox. What do you think I got that for? So yeah, the exclusive stuff, Horizon, all these games. Like yeah, man, even Street Fighter. Street Fighter is exclusive to PlayStation. Ain't the last Street Fighter, ain't none of that stuff. So it's exclusive stuff. That's where it's at. The GTA, that's fine because that's always going to be multi-platinum, platform. There are some games that are multi-platinum, and there's some games. But even then, when you got those multi-platinum platform games, you also got to look at it from a point of view as like which one of them runs smoother. There's even comparisons with that. A lot of these gaming channels do that. What it looks like comparison on this, it looks like on this. It's always going to be that way. Do you think Woody, Jesse, Potato Head, Mrs. Potato, Rex, and the Piggy Bank would have successful or any hit series like Buzz Lightyear would? The only if Buzz is successful, the Lightyear is successful. The only one I would do is Woody and Jesse. Like that's the only other character I would want getting like a solo movie or something like that. Like, but not based off the Toy Story line. Like, no, this is Woody, Sheriff Woody. His name is Woody, and he's a sheriff, and Jesse is his deputy. If they ever make a Woody film, do you think you would want? Do you think you should voice him? Who do you think should voice him instead of Tom Hanks? Who could voice Woody outside of Tom Hanks? It depends on the character because, like I said, this Buzz Lightyear doesn't look like he's not acting like the like Buzz Lightyear, and he's more of a. I kind of got more of a somewhat of a Green Lantern vibe, test pilot, and from there. But who could voice Woody? Um, uh, boy, oh, that's hard. I'm really thinking. Who could? I can't think of anybody right now. I can't. Hey, Chris. Not Chris. It's Chris with an H. Rex. All right, Schris. I don't mean to be a grammar hound, but yeah, that's not what the haps is. I'm fine. Marion, I personally really like Halloween Kills because it showed how Michael, what Michael did affect. It did, but it was also stupid because it blew it out of proportion. That evil dies tonight. That was getting on my nerves. That bullshit. That bullshit side story with the escape. That was stupid. No, it bothered me. There were a lot of things in the movie just bothered me that didn't have to play up. And now and with that bullshit that they did with and now they really look like now they are going into the concept of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, because he like this dude was shot like 6 fucking times. Pop, pop, pop. You saw got beat down and he gets up like nothing ever happened. And I'm like, to the point it was making me so mad because I'm like, stab this motherfucker in the head. Like in the head. But it was the point where I also realized, yes, there's a third one. But still, there were a lot of what I thought was gonna happen didn't happen. But I did like the fact that, yeah, what it made you believe, what it made you see, I'm talking too much about it. Go watch my review when I put it up. Then you'll see more. Uh, um, maybe Terrell, maybe. Did you see Salma Hayek? The lady is in her 50s and still that's there you go. There you go. Like, please, like age is ridiculous. Do you like cities in Florida like Orlando, Miami, Fort Lauderdale? I've been to Orlando, liked Orlando very much. I never been to Miami, never been to Fort Lauderdale or Jacksonville, Tampa, or Tallahassee. I do have family in Tallahassee, but I've never been there. But I have been to Orlando, and I enjoyed it very much. And I tend to go back there next year. So yeah, weren't some of the first immigrants in New York City Italian and Irish? Yes, indeed, that is very true. Um, were you ever have you ever been to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia? Never been to Pittsburgh. I passed through Philly, but most people know that there is someone special in Philly that yeah. So, I know what you mean because I was born in like an incredible place to be. It's Vegas almost because with the bright light. Never been to Vegas, and I have a friend that lives out in Vegas. She's the woman. She's the friend that came out to New York, and I always said now I'm gonna come out to Vegas, but I'm not a gambler. I'm but I do want to travel the. I've had family that did Vegas and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on traveling? Try Jesus Christ, man. Okay, I've been to Charleston. I have family. My family originally is from South Carolina, so Myrtle Beach. Never been to Myrtle Beach. I passed through Virginia Beach and Norfolk, but no. Um, Next thing you're probably going to do is put up put up places in North Carolina. I got family in North Carolina too. What do you think should who do you think should be play James Bond after Craig? My choice is Dan Stevenson and Henry Cavill. I would love Henry Cavill, but my man has just been too busy. He's just so busy now, and but I'm happy for him. Anything is good for Cavill because but I want him kind of to stay away from Warner Brothers right now because of how dirty they did him. I still will not forgive them for what they did. What is the most tastiest pizza place in New York? Same question goes for hot dogs. Pizza. Honestly, the best pizzas are those mom and pop stores. I can tell you that right now. Best pizzas, best pizzas are the mom and pop stores that have been around from generation to generation. Um, you Google it; they will tell you other different places. But honestly and truthfully, uh, they will have lists like different, like top 25, top four. But some of the best places are those mom and pop pizzas. There's one in Brooklyn that I know is actually really good too. They're called the best pizza. It's, um, but uh, hot dog wise, that's a different because the hot dog vendors are out there and they just use. But if you want to go traditional, you got to go Nathan's. You got to go Nathan's straight up best. But there's a place that me and Malcolm is. I actually did a video, a taste first try. It's not in New York City. It's in Westchester County, in a city called White Plains. Both me and my brother work in that area, and it's a place called the Dog Den. And you can go watch the video, and they do hot dogs creations, crazy stuff. Like, they mix hot dogs with, you put honey on it and this and that. And, I had one called the Weird Owl. It's a hot dog with curly fries and nacho sauce. It was delicious. It is just really creative. And they the owner is this guy. I think he's called Big John. I forget what his name is, but he's tall. He's like 6'9", and he has a scale, like kind of like you can't be this tall to get on the ride. He has one that's the size of him, and he says if you're taller than me, everything is free for you. Nobody's done it yet, but yeah, it's great. But hot dog wise, it's when you're in New York City, you'll see the guys out there with the vendors, with the carts with the hot dogs or the shish kebabs or something like that. But if you're going with, then yeah, definitely go out to Coney Island, get your Nathan's. That's where they have the famous Nathan's hot dog contest every year. It's like people come out there and just chomp down hot dogs, see how many you could eat in one sitting. It's crazy. It's crazy to see the people do it. But I love Nathan's hot dogs. But yeah, it's good stuff. I see videos of people like from like Ireland. I watch a lot of Irish YouTubers too because I love watching that stuff, and they always are trying stuff from America. And one of them, her name is Harker Ryan. She tried Nathan hot dog for the first time, and she was like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" It's great. It makes me happy. Besides, I love a good Irish accent. I love it. It's just great. Um, it's like one of my top 10 favorite international accents. I still have to do that video. Um, People feel like Patty Jenkins should not direct Wonder Woman 3 because A4 bad storytelling. What do you think? Do you think what should she improve? Well, first of all, I don't. The problem I had with Wonder Woman um, 84 was had nothing. It was more just the concept of because when I watched the way I looked, I'm like, oh my god, she basically raped this dude. Like I don't care what anybody like the Steve Trevor. It was in another man's body. He had no clue about that. She raped that dude. Don't yeah, and people are like, wait, what? Think about it. She did. Um, I had no problem with it too much. I wish Cheetah was in it more, like she had become Cheetah quicker, like instead of and that's the other thing I didn't like is like that cliche of always the villain starting out as the best friend to the hero. I didn't like that. I was like, Minerva was kind of like real quick. She came obsessed. Barbara Minerva Cheetah was out there. Patty is fine. And I no no. Between Prue, Piper, Phoebe, and Paige, which sister in Charms was the most entertaining or amusing to yourself? Uh, that's a tough one because you know, like I said, I got a thing for Alyssa Milano, so but they all had their issues, or but Prue definitely was up there. Uh, Piper to a degree, and even Phoebe, they all had it. Like they all had. It's hard for me to just pick one. It really is. I love Charm. I thought that was a good show. Love that opening too. What movie based on wars, battles, fights, conflicts, attacks, or combats is the most exciting to you? What movies? Uh, when it comes to like wartime movies, like soldier movies, there's only a few. Like if it's dealing with World War II, I'm all about it because because to me that was the last just war where it was a clear cut villain. The clear cut villains you knew. Um, I enjoy. I like one of my favorite war movies is Glory. I love Glory. I love that movie. Sad movie, but I love it. Um, uh, favorite World War II movie. I love Saving Private Ryan. Love that movie. Um, you know, but I do like uh Full Metal Jacket, and that took place in Vietnam, but I don't like the Vietnam War. I don't. I'm not a big fan of it. And if you are, I'm sorry, but I'm not. To me, there was no true cause for this country to be in that war, none whatsoever. Um, but it was that just you watch that movie, and it looks like just the sheer turn of that movie is crazy, especially just the basic training stuff. And if you watch that movie and you see um why am I bugging out on names now? Um who played Kingpin? Shit, I'm forgetting his name. Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio's character in that. Watch him do that from when he first is saying yes, Sergeant, yes, yes, sir. Watch him as Pyle. Watch him from that first movie, that first till to the end of that, before they even go into Vietnam. You see the switch. Like the first time I watched that movie, this first time I watched that, that scared the shit out of me. Just to watch him flip like that. And then that scene when he's in the bathroom and he turns to the camera, he turns to Joker, you know, and he's just looking at him. And I'm like, this dude is flipped. Scared the living shit out of me. And that music they were playing, oh my God. When I first saw that movie, it scared the hell out of me. I first saw Full Metal Jacket. I think I was 13 when I first saw that movie. Scared the living shit out of me. Just that scene. but you see just the amount of just he went through from all his just shenanigans to even when Joker was helping him, trying to help him learn how to climb up things and get your leg over. All right, come on, like figure out disassemble your rifle thing. But then the things about like stealing donuts, and then because of him, the other squad members had to pay for it. And just seeing one when they beat the living shit out of him with they wrapped those big thick soaps in towels and socks, and they just all started hitting them. One of them even grabbed Joker. I'm forgetting Matthew Modine's character, and told him don't even say anything. And then they even told him hit him. He deserves it. They all hit him, and then you just hearing him just he's just crying. That basic training, it just shows exactly what my father used to tell me about basic training in the military. He said the first thing it is mental. It is one more mental. It's 90% mentality than physicality, because that's what they're looking for. Seeing who's gonna break first. Vincent D'Onofrio's character broke first. Not only did he break, he flipped out. He killed the drill sergeant, blew him away. Then what did he do? Turned that gun right on himself, blew his brains out. Scared the hell out of me. Scared the hell out of me. I'm not even joking. That scared the living shit out of me. Workout tips, constant. Just have a routine. I need to get back on my routine. What horror, thriller, suspense, mystery, or slasher movies did you find too much blood, gore, guts, or fear yourself? Like I said, any Quentin Tarantino movie, I looked at like that's too much blood. Never scared me. If you were a vampire, what would be your method of eating, traveling, meeting people, and socializing in general if you were the kind from Anne Rice's novel? Um, if I was a vampire, traveling would be always at night. You're traveling at night, or stowawaying on things if I didn't have the money. But it'll always be travel at night. I would socialize with people, but I know that eating, like especially knowing I have to drink blood, knowing that I have to. What it's always like they say, vampire can go 4 days without feeding, but still, it's me eating animal, drinking animal blood. I would never take a human's blood because it's never said that vampires need human blood. I've never heard that in any book I've ever read, or it's never. It's always, why is it human blood? I think I would be like Brad Pitt's character, eating rats, or like Angel, drinking pig's blood and goat's blood and all that stuff to survive. Um, I wouldn't be like Morbius, like feeding off the wicked, or like in that movie Afflicted. He was a vampire, and he said he would only hurt, like he would only feed off of rapists and monsters. Um, well, I probably would do stuff like if I saw a rapist or somebody like people can't catch him, I'd catch him. I'd probably do something to him like you'll never be able to use these hands again. Rip right off, like stuff like that. But I would still be able to travel. Socializing with people would be good, but I would have animals to socialize with, but I wouldn't socialize too much. Like if a girl, I socialize with her and she wanted to get me know me better, then I'll probably show her like this is what I am. Okay, you want to see what I am? Show the fangs. There you go. Now I advise you either to leave me, because I'm not. I'll tell right now, I'm not turning you. No way am I turning you. That's out of the question. I wouldn't turn anybody. Not anybody. That even goes for like if I was a werewolf, and I would, I wouldn't turn anybody. I would be very careful, like scratch somebody on purpose, or like if I was a werewolf. One moment, guys. Hello, hey, that what the thing? Yeah, fix it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know they were sending it to the old address. Yeah, I fixed it. Right. All right. I don't know. I'm not watching it. Yeah, he's here. No, he's in the back. He's in the room. Yep. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. My dad. I was doing him a favor or something. He wanted to know if I did it for him. So where am I? Oh God, dang, a bunch of I might have to rapid fire some of these bad boys. Uh, okay. If okay, I did that. What director do you see? What director do you see to do a different genre? I would love to see Martin Scorsese do something outside of a gangster movie. I'd love to see that. Um, who do you consider the best final girl, final boy? I've already said mine: Sidney Prescott and Laura Strobes for sure. Um, for me, the Coen brothers would do a great slap. Yeah, I can see that. If you heard about the Little Mermaid live action, it's definitely miscast, especially considering the original story is like set in Denmark and Haley Berry as Ariel, which right, yeah, right. Um, well, this is meaning that it's more of a Disney, so they're using more of that and more of the character of the Little Mermaid. If you read that original story, it ain't such a fun tale. Disney takes these 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 stories and they Disneyfy it. Yeah, that's a good word, Disneyfy it, because they take out a lot of that shit that they know. Oh yeah, we can't do that. Okay, you won't believe that. You want a prime example of that? Pocahontas. You think it was nice and everything like that? Oh yeah, John Smith, blah blah. Nah, fuck, they raped that girl. She was like 14. Like, nah, man. Like even Mulan. Some of the stories of Mulan I've read, like she killed herself. She killed herself at because the emperor wanted her, and she didn't want to be married. And the only way she killed herself. Like, crazy. Like, what superhero do you think are fine on paper, but when they are executed, they are lacking. Right now, that first Bloodshot, definitely they fucked that up. I don't know how you fuck up Bloodshot. I don't know how you fuck that up. How do you fuck up Bloodshot? That right there was supposed to be the gateway to the Valiant universe. People who never know anything about the Valiant characters, they fuck that Bloodshot. Bloodshot is easy. How do you fuck that up? Bloodshot. You want to know what Bloodshot is? You take a little bit of a soul, Captain America. You take a little bit of Wolverine. Yeah, because he can heal from everything. You take Punisher. There you go. That's Bloodshot. But they fucked that up. They fucked that up. They didn't even another thing. They did not even give him his gray skin. It's like what the? There's stuff that right there that just proved. That's why I don't have a lot of faith in Sony stuff. I don't because they don't, especially when it comes to comic stuff. They don't. Everything. It's got to be their way. Studio involvement hurts comic movies. and video game movies too. Straight up, that's definitely one of them. Bloodshot. Fuck that up. Fuck that big. In the addition to the fifth Scream movie, apparently there will be a proper third season of it. Which are you more? I'm more ready for the movie. I never watched the series. Didn't care for it. Speaking of Catwoman, what are your thoughts on Elizabeth Gill's Catwoman trilogy? Didn't care. I'm not a big Catwoman fan. Never have been. Do you think the Final Destination movie saga had a great rollout, or even a roll call? Um, 50-50. Um, what what if what if the cast of Streets of Rage met the cast of Final Fight? Uh, that'd be fun. Be interesting. You ever watched the Urban Legend movie? Yes, I have. Um, how about the Faculty? Love the Faculty. Didn't Superman lose everyone, including Lois and Kingdom Come? He didn't turn then. Yeah, who wrote that? Well, I don't mean it like that because Tom Taylor is a goddamn good writer. But you know why? Mark Wade, one of Mark Wade's best works, Kingdom Come. Great. Do you watch the Chucky show? I'm taping it. Gonna watch it. Uh, top top Darkstalker character or top five? John Talbot, the werewolf, always up top. Do you think you should be voted and supported into the Rhyme and Blues Hall of Fame if they had one? The Rhythm and Blues. Oh, do you think who do you think should be in the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame? Too many people. You can put Anita Baker up there. Congratulations to her for getting her master's. She owns all her work. I'll be sure you name anybody, they all do. You think Shaq a good rapper artist? I mean, I'll give him credit. He could rhyme, but not really. Uh, what if Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Amber Heard a stunner? Stone Cold Stunner. I laugh. uh, do you think LL was a okay actor, and would he be a good boxer? I think LL is a really good actor. He works to his strength. He plays characters to his strength. He's been on NCIS LA for how many years? And that show is still going. People love that duo with him and Chris O'Donnell. It works. It's great. And the movies as he's been in were great too. Would he have been a good boxer? Yeah, I mean he's his one of his ancestors is a boxer, the famous boxer. Mahershala Ali is going to play him in a movie too. Oh shit! Um, he found out that he's related to that guy. Oh damn it! Um, I'm forgetting the name. Uh, he's going to play a boxer. Um, I got to look it up because I know he's going to do. If you never heard of this guy, um, he is he's a classic, but Mahershala Ali, he's going to play the boxer Jack Johnson, and Jack Johnson uh, is is he was a boxer. He was the first black heavyweight boxing champion, um, and he was good. LL is related to him. Uh, the show it's gonna be on HBO. It's called Unruly. It's a six-part miniseries, but Mahershala Ali is gonna play him, and he's the first black boxing champ. LL is related to him, and so he found that out when he did his ancestry stuff. That's crazy. Favorite Ice Cube album? Oh shit. Oh boy. I damn it. I got see that's a tough one. I gotta think about that one. Uh my favorite, I probably I'm probably gonna go with the Predator. I like that album. Um, yeah, definitely go Predator. That was probably that's one of my favorites. Definitely. Do you prefer Will Smith as a rapper or actor, or do you think he's great at both? He was good at both. You know, rapping wise, he was a rapper of the '80s. Wasn't it was more fun. Telling a story. Now rappers today don't tell that story, like storytelling from rappers of the '80s. You look at all of them, Kumo D and KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane and Run DMC, the Beastie Boys. They were telling stories. You know, there's still rappers that some do it like Kendrick Lamar does it, but he was doing it then. Biz Markie, rest in peace, Biz Markie. But yeah, he was a good. And then when he got into acting, yeah, you see his acting prowess has just gone up from him on Will's from the Fresh Prince to now where he is now. He has gotten a lot better. His acting has not peaked. His acting. I've heard people say his acting peaked at Fresh Prince. Nah. Is it one of his best things he's done? Yeah, I would say that. But it's not. His acting didn't peak at Fresh Prince. Um, should the next GTA take place in their version of Chicago? I would like that. I would love to see more of the GTA world outside of Vice City and San Andreas and all the other places. What was the best shows on MTV, MTV2, VH1, BT, in your point of view? BT, Miss Rap City. I missed that. That was my show, Rap City. I'll be on that Rap City. VH1. I missed the storytelling. I forgot what those were. VH1 storytelling. I forgot where they would talk about. It was kind of like biography, but it was telling of an artist. MTV. I ain't that much. Uh, I miss. I miss. I miss. I just miss them playing music for sure. I miss that for sure. But what was the clay animation thing? I do miss that, and I would probably say Beavis and Butthead because that's where I used to watch Beavis and Butthead. Hey Chris, I'm back. Okay. Uh, you said you would want a ent- solo, but didn't Mr. Potato Head exist long before Toy Stories? Yeah, it did. He was already a toy before that. So you throw him out there. That's why I didn't pick him. Puck or Big L? That's hard. Uh, um, I'm not answering that one. Sorry. Which of these sources of music do you think delivers better sound and quality? Digital media like Spotify, CDs, cassettes, or vinyl? Uh, I would say digital at times. Uh, it's been a long time since I listened to a cassette, but I still have CDs. Like me and my father still have CDs of albums, uh, but we don't have a lot of vinyl records. My my aunt does, yeah, uh, but not me. Uh, do you think Peter Parker and Clark Kent are very similar in their views on heroism? Yep. Rex. Spoilers. Is that Loki in No Way Home? I don't know. I don't know if you went over this in your review, but apparently Michael Myers is called is being called homophobic for killing those gay guys. Thoughts? Homophobic for killing the gay guys. First of all, that scene was stupid to begin. Why they focused too much on those guys? I was like, good God, what is this? Why are they putting so much focus on them? He killed two elderly people too. Is he elderphobic? Like, it's what the fuck? Like, come on with that. What are your thoughts on the remakes of the old video games? Old times like Atari Flashback. Like, oh, I like that stuff. It gives people, especially gives the new younger generation a chance to see where video games have came come from until now. I like when they do that stuff. Man, my nose is just itching. Probably my nose hair. I hate my nose hair. Makes my nose itch. What would it? What if they started calling James Bond Jim Bond or Jimmy Bond? Well, yeah, because James is short for Jimmy. Jim, and they wouldn't do it because no, why? Because he's British and they're more proper, you know. So no, I'm not messing with them. Just saying. What was that? I wouldn't mind Idris Elba being the next James Bond. I keep hearing whispers of Lady James Bond. That would be cool too. I really don't care. Really, it's just whoever gets the role, be happy. I was raised in Jersey. I was born in New York. There you go. I got family in Jersey. My mom used to work at Nathan's. She tells there's the best hot dog. Nathan's is great, man. If I was to do like the next hot dog, I would probably go Sabret being next, and Hebrew National being. I like Hebrew National, but there's just something about a Nathan's hot dog, and I like a hot dog that crunch, like when you bite it, crunch, like the skin is like crispy. I like. Uh, our go-to pizza place here in Australia is Crust. You should check them out online. They good pizza and have some of the best pizza. Pepperoni, cheese scroll. That's my go-to topping, pepperoni. So yeah, I'll check that out. You know, JPR, apple pie or uh is that cake or strawberry shortcake? Which dessert do you prefer? Actually, I love apple pie, but my favorite pie is key lime pie. Strawberry shortcake I like too, but if that's what's cake, but if I'm gonna choose between them, none, because I just a good bowl of ice cream was do it for me. Sorry. Okay, and we are closing that shit out. Get out. No, get out. Um, get out. Yeah, get them out. 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 Get this shit out. Why put this? Yeah, we don't need any of that shit. Thank please thank you, Kay. I think one of my handlers have deleted some idiot up in here. I don't need that shit. Okay. Becky Lynch has an Irish accent and kind of raspy voice. Her promos must be music to your ears. I love Becky Lynch. I love her Irish accent. But for me, I've been rocking with Becky before she even got to the WWE. I remember seeing her on independent in the independent circle when she was called Rebecca Knox, and I loved her there. I was like, it is what it is. I quit watching the Charm reboot. Did you watch? I watched a few episodes. I didn't hate it, but it was just like, was this really needed? That's how it looked. I'm not too into war movies because it almost always the same wars. Being this, I'm a history buff, and I'm over it. But when was the last time we had a French Indian War? Uh, Last of the Mohicans. That was probably like the last time that. Oh my God, my nose. That was probably the last movie that I can remember where that kind of involved the French Indian War. Uh, uh, yeah, Men of Honor and Saving Private Ryan are my favorites. Yeah, I do like that. Shadow got for you. Hey, Chris, what's up? I got two questions for you. I don't know if you addressed it. Uh, try. What do you think? Who do you think can take down Tribal Chief Roman? And number two, name an old TV show that you rewatch. For me, it's 24. Well, I'll start with the second question. Name an old show that I rewatch. You name it, I probably would. Like that's why I love the site Pluto TV. They got they got channels just dedicated to old TV shows. I'm a huge Three's Company fan. I love me some Three's Company. And that channel runs Three's Company 24 hours. It's the Three's Company channel. They run all their seasons, even all the spin-offs. Did you know? You probably, I don't know how old you guys are, but did you know that the Ropers, they got a spin-off TV series that lasted 2 seasons? And after Three's Company went off the air, Jack got a spin-off series with his girlfriend called Three's a Crowd. They run all that. There's a Ben Matlock channel. I love me some Matlock. There's even a Baywatch channel, and I do watch Baywatch, and it's not just for the jubblies and stuff, but there are some good stories. I was just watching Knight Rider. I love me some Knight Rider. I watched what else I was rewatching. All my favorite crime dramas like CSI Miami. I was just watching that. It's like I rewatch a lot of classic TV shows. That's one of the things I love about having like these like these streaming sites like uh Paramount Plus and Hulu and all that stuff. Is like I could watch all these classic shows that I loved, like Golden Girls. Yes, I love Golden Girls. Shoot me. So what? I'm a Golden Girls fan. I love that stuff. So yeah, there's 24 I love too. I'll rewatch 24. You know, as for who's going to be the one to take down Roman Reigns, the chief, tribal chief, it would seem like they may still lead to Brock doing it. But if not, the only one I can think of right now is because they have not built up anybody to do it. The only one I can think of right now is probably Drew McIntyre. That's it. But they have not built up anybody. That is the problem right now with WWE is they have not properly built people up. They suck at it. They really do. Dracula and the Wolfman versus Man Wolf and Morbius versus Edward and Jacob. Who wins? Which Dracula are we talking about? We talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula, or it? Uh, I'll give. Oh, Man Wolf. Oh, you got Man Wolf. I thought you'd have John. I thought you have Werewolf by Night up in there. Uh, I I think Dracula would beat them all. Uh, well, who had the better fight with Dracula, Batman or Blade? That's ridiculous. I can't. I'm not going to compare that because that one's an animation, one's live action. I'm not comparing that. That's weird. Got two in a row for you, Chris. What was your favorite show from Nickelodeon? Doug, are you a fan of any Disney films or shows? Hell yeah! Like I have Disney Plus, and I get it for free thanks to my uh, my phone provider, um, Verizon. I get it for free. Um, so on there, they got all the classic Disney shows, animation shows that I love. From your Tailspin, your Darkwing Ducks, your Gummy Bears, your Goof Troops, your Chippendale Rescue Rangers, your Gargoyles is up on there. Yeah. And even they even got all the Marvel stuff on there. Cool. As for TV shows, films, yeah, I just mentioned The Rocketeer. Love The Rocketeer. My favorite Disney Disney movies, that like Aladdin. I love Aladdin. 101 Dalmatians. The Black Cauldron. Nobody talks about that a lot. That is underrated. I love The Rescuers. I love Jungle Book, Robin Hood. Um, I love Hocus Pocus. I watched Hocus Pocus not too long ago, and I know they're making a sequel to that, and the whole gang is coming back, so I'm really interested. It's too much. What if Blade took on Anne Rice's vampires? Goodbye. What if Blade took on the vampires from Dusk Till Dawn? Goodbye, vampires from Dusk Till Dawn. Uh, what do you what do you care more about what do you care about? Fan reception, critical reception, or sales when it comes to films? Uh, I'm more into the film getting back its budget. Like at the film, I always look at the budgets of films, just how much it took to make them. And if a film, to me, if a film does not make back its money, that's a fail to me. But there have been some cult favorites, movies that I love that were bombed at the box office, but become favorites to fans. For example, Iron Giant. That was not a success at the box office, but I love that movie. Even Predator, the first Predator, didn't do well, but it became a, a favorite. So yeah. Um, so yeah. Who's your favorite Belmont family member? Oh, Jesus Christ. John, I believe. I think it's John. The Belmont we're talking about from Castlevania, that family. I think it's the original John. It's hard to remember all of them. I can't remember all of them. I think it's John Belmont from the original. Um, which other Image comic character you'd like to see get animated? Haunt, the Haunt, um, uh, uh, the Darkness, because that's Top Cow Image. I'll do a real Witchblade with Sarah Pazzini. Yes. Uh, Astonishing Wolfman. Boom. Um, yeah, there we go. Um, which celebrity or pop culture icon is number one on your list of people you want to meet? Well, I can't meet him. He's passed away. I would love to visit his grave, Bruce Lee. Um, I can't meet Ali. Passed away. I'd love to meet the rest of his family. That'd be great. Uh, a lot of them are gone. I've met Michael J. Fox. That was great. Uh, I've met Christopher Lloyd. I've met the entire cast of Back to the Future. I can tell you right now, yeah, Biff, the nicest guy you ever meet. Um, but if I'm gonna pick anybody, pop culture wise, somebody I wish I'd met Stan Lee once. Um, I would have loved to have met Robin Williams. I would have loved to have met him. There's so many, but I'm just gonna pick the first person that pops in my head. Arnold Schwarzenegger. There you go. I'd love to meet Arnold. Arnold was my guy growing up. He still is. I'd love to meet him. Uh, how do you how would you do a Phantom and Black Panther crossover? I would have the Phantom and Black Panther be working together for generations. That's a hey, that is a good because for those who don't know, the Phantom originally is in Africa. He's Bengala is a fictional country in Africa, just like Wakanda. But yeah, that would be great. Like the Phantom, and that's a good. The Phantom and Black Panther have been working like different Panthers have worked with different Panthers. That would be great. Yeah, I'd go there. Oh man, ooh, that'd be good. I'll definitely do something where the same Brotherhood are trying to steal uh steal from Wakandans, probably try to they found Wakanda, now they're trying to steal it, steal from them like vibranium or something. Maybe team up with Claw or somebody. Yeah, that'd be ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. Very good. Favorite what? Wait, what? What is that? I can't read that. Right. Um what favorite what? What is that? I- Um favorite M is that supposed to be Eminem? Is that what that's what the like favorite Eminem album? Probably the the Mathers LP. I'd definitely say that. That and uh Recovery, I would have to say is another one. His older work I like, but definitely the Mathers because Rap God. Oh my God, I love that song. I love Rap God. Um, the LP2, the Mathers LP2, not the second. So yeah. Um, Interesting. I prefer vinyl myself. No, vinyl is great. It's just and people who collect them. I mean, I would love to come because when I go into Target and like Barnes and Noble, they got like a whole vinyl section. And I'll be looking at that. I'm like, oh wow, the Black Panther soundtrack on vinyl. I'm like, what? You know. Thank once again, Kay. Thank you so much for dealing with that idiot in here. Thank you for that. I think you might need a mod. Yeah, I just did. I got rid of. She did. She did it. Um, thank you. So yeah. Um, yeah, I got rid of that mod. Okay. Thank you. I got it. Mac and cheese or fish and chips. Ooh, love me some fish and chips or fish and fries. I love it. I'm a lover of whitings. I love all type. I like catfish. I like whitings. I like red snapper. Um, I love me some salmon. Um, on mac and cheese. Depends on the mac and cheese. Um, it's got to be authentic for me. I'm not. I mean, I could eat like where you just put the cheese sauce on and you know that's fine. But I also love a good real mac and cheese where they crafted like for example during the holidays, Malcolm he will make some really good mac and cheese. So yeah, his but I love a good mac and cheese. We don't get too fancy with it. There's some of them that get really fancy, put like the breadcrumbs and stuff. Nah, just but I'll go fish and chips because that's not there's it's more of like a comfort food. You could just eat that. I mean, mac and cheese is that's comfort food. That's soul food right there. But if I'm on the go, I'm not gonna stop and get mac and cheese over. Oh, there's I can go to a certain place and get French fries or chips in another place in the world because I got to remember I do have UK pack members. You guys call them chips, and potato chips are called crisp. So I know my culture. I love that stuff. Yeah, I think you guys, and even in UK, you don't call like gummies. You call them jellies. I learn a lot from just watching. You know, like I still will. I made a promise to all my Aussie pack members. I will do a taste test of me eating Aussie treats like Tim Tams. I got to try Tim Tams. Because you guys won't shut up about. No, I'm just messing with you. Uh, and I've seen boxes that have like Aussie snacks. And yes, I will try Vegemite, even though I'm a little nervous, but I know somebody that told me, okay, this is how you eat it. So yeah, but yeah, Tim Tams, I'm definitely on there. So yeah. What Sonic games has the best soundtrack? The originals. I'll just put that. Did you play Fear Effect? Fear Effect. Are you talking about the game, the first person game with the little girl with the you know with the black hair? I think that I've never played them. I've seen them. What real life tragedy movie do you think should be made? None. I don't want to see any of them things. I don't go. I'm not watching those. Ever watch How I Met Your Mother? Yes. Watch a few episodes. What about The Rock taking down the tribal chief? Too busy. He won't. He couldn't make it. Doug was cool. Rocco. I like Rocco too. I love Doug. Rocco. Real Monsters. Wild Thornberries. I can understand why Rocco's there. You know, he's a Woolabee, so you know, credit. No, just messing with you. Rugrats, of course, but I know they remade. Well, not remade it, but they made the Rugrats now 3D, and I heard it did well. I didn't watch it, but I love Doug. You know, I love Doug, and then Disney bought him, and then I'm just like, oh, Jesus. And they fucked it up. Doug was the joint. Doug was the joint. Marco's Wildlife was that's good stuff. Um, Streets of Rage animated series would be dope, similar to the Shenmue anime. Yeah, I know Sega wants to have some of their series make movies or TV series. Streets of Rage could be a TV series. That could work as a series, not a movie, a series. But I'm looking forward to the Shenmue. You go watch my reaction. That animation was beautiful. I can't wait to that. That's gonna be great. Funniest birthday moment from Golden Girls. Oh Jesus, I'm not even going there. There's too many. Do you like? Do you think the Pirates of the Caribbean would be a failure without Johnny Depp? Absolutely, absolutely. Johnny Depp. It probably would, but Johnny Depp made Jack Sparrow. Nobody could have done Jack Sparrow like he did. Nobody. He made that character. Nobody could pull that off. Him. Two guys on Step by Step who channeled Beavis and Butthead. Those two guys on Step by Step channeled Beavis and Butthead. Do you think the who do you think did the best Beavis and Butthead, or did you think the idea was just stupid? Step by Step. I remember Step by Step. I remember that show. I think you're talking about one of the brothers and his friend. I think, but Beavis and Butthead were their own. I think they you can't do what nobody else can do. But it was just really funny and stupid at the same time. They go to school. They only go someday. Like these, I don't know how these do. Like the funniest thing. See, now you got me on Beavis and Butthead. The funniest thing about Beavis and Butthead to me is they lived. They went to school, but they lived in an apartment. And I always went, who the fuck pays their rent? You know, did they live rent free or what? How did they get electricity? It was always funny to me. And then when they did the movie Do America, and they I guess they got to see their fathers. That was hilarious. Yeah, I went to Highland. Oh, whoa, we're from Highland. Oh, you guys know what I'm talking about. I did these two sluts. Yeah, I did them too. You didn't do them. And I was like, yeah, it was so much. That was funny. That cracked me up. Next up, what are your thoughts reaction? What was your reaction in the Iron Giant when the giant went berserk when he thought Hogarth was dead? That was heartbreaking. You know, it was it was heartbreaking. Iron Giant is very emotional movie because we never really get to see who created him. Why was he? I'm sure he was probably created to conquer. Whoever sent him wanted to conquer wherever he landed, but he got amnesia. But then to see him go berserk like that because Hogarth, he thought Hogarth died. it was very touching, but it's just like showed just how much he cared for him, and it also, but I also love when Hogarth's there and he's still he got that cannon aimed at him, and he's just telling them, you choose who you are, like, and he's just Hogarth, and I cry in that movie every time, I just watched him, and I love that line, that last ending where he's telling Hogarth, "You stay, I go, no following," and and he he goes off, and then you hear him speak because he's gonna stop the missile, and then he just says like, "We are who we choose." I'm getting emotional already, and he's like, "Choose who do you want to be?" And he says, "Superman." That was just perfect. I love that, and to see that he lived, and it kind of made me wonder, like. I figured he had lived. I was like, if he could survive that other stuff, there's no way that bomb that nuker was gonna destroy him. I was just like, it was perfect. And when Hogarth saw that his bolt lighten up because he was being called back, it was great. And just to see all his parts coming back to him, that was really fun. The Iron Giant is a good. I get emotional every time that movie come on. I love that movie. Oh, Robin Williams, yeah, I mean, yeah, Robin Williams, man, I'd love to have met him. Like, I'm getting more. I can't. I gotta stop. I'm in emotional right now. Oh, jeez. Um, did like Rocco's Modern Life Netflix movie. I still need to watch that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting teary. See, I start thinking about guys like that, and I'm gonna start getting misty eyed. I apologize. I apologize for that. I loved I freaking love Barnes and Noble. Yeah, I walk through Barnes and Noble almost every day when I'm so I get to see things like that. I'll be always asking them, did you get the new Jason Bourne book? And like, no, it didn't come in yet, because he got a new book coming out. Well, maybe you would love Tim Tam. Yeah, see, you see, I know that. I know I want to try Tim Tam so much. And I see they have it, and they got different flavors too, like a bunch of different flavors. And it's just like I know it's like in a sense I've heard Tim Tams like crack. Like I don't mean it that way, but they're so addictive. I've heard other Aussie friends say, "Mate, you got it." Sorry, I'm breaking the accent. That's another accent I love. I've heard them say, you'll love Tim Tams. You'll love them. So yeah. Do you remember Mighty Max Travis? Love Mighty Max. I missed that show. That was a good show. My favorite episode is when we got to see Norman's backstory of where he came from and the man that killed his dad and that he was scared of. Like for a while, this was the only guy that Norman feared. Well, he was kind of like I would say he's kind of like the Corgan from Highlander. You know, he would have gone Norman, like he would just say his name like that, and he was sticking stuff, and he's like, "You think that hurts?" And he sticking branches in his head and up his nose. And he's like, "Yeah, it feels good." I'm like, "This dude is crazy." Yeah, yeah. Rocco, his Paul's Aussie accent calls a California. I appreciate his effort though. Yeah, I the thing about the Australian accent that is always interesting to me, and whether I hear it from my favorite Australian wrestlers or just you know, for me being introduced to the Australian accent, being the child of the '80s, it came from me listening to Paul Hogan because I didn't hear the Bee Gees talk until I was like 14. Like, and then when I was like, oh my God, they're Australian. I didn't know. So Paul Hogan was my first of being on. So I'm hearing him speak, and I'm like, that accent sounds so cool. And hearing it, and then there's people that I can tell the difference between an Australian and a New Zealand accent, a Kiwi accent and an Aussie accent. There's a big difference, and so I can hear it. I know the difference between it, but there's just something about the Australian accent that I love. It's just the way some people, the way the are pronounced, words are pronounced. You know, you guys shorten everything. And you definitely shorten a lot of where you don't say everything, you shorten it and it works. Like instead of saying good day, what do you good eye? You shorten it, which is great. I love that. It's like that's cool. Like I get it. But you know, when the actors who are not Australian try the Australian accent, I do sometimes wonder. I wonder how a native Australian looks at that. Like, do they like that? Like, for example, if you ever heard like Captain Cole, not Captain Cole, Captain Boomerang talk, and we're not talking Jai Courtney, we're talking the like when he was on like the cartoons, Justice League, and all. I always wonder. I'm like, I wonder what Australians think about that. Like Captain Boomerang is like, oh, you know, it's a blaming, you know, it's a stereotype. You know, we don't all use boomerangs. You know, it makes me wonder. You know, but I like I said, you know, I fell in love with Australia since I was in the third grade when I did a book report on it, and I just was like, someday I'm gonna go to this place. You know, someday. Learning about the culture and learning about the Aries Rock and what that means to the Aboriginal people. In fact, I would love to meet the Aboriginals. You know, seeing Sydney and Melbourne and the Barrier Reef, and this is where the big salties crocs are. You know, and just learning about the different animals, the marsupials, the big tall 6 foot tall red kangaroos, like those things you don't want. Like they're legitimately jacked. Like you're seeing them, like they just stand there. Like I'm like, you could see their veins pulsing. Like you can wonder why they're so strong. Like imagine getting up choked by one of them, and the big wombats. You know, like for example, this may make all my Aussie pack members laugh. Go back and watch The Rescuers Down Under. Ever since I first saw that movie, I had a problem with the main human character Cody in that movie because one, and you hear him speak, you hear his mom speak, and I'm like, what is this boy? Like, is he American? Because I didn't hear a damn accent. Once he spoke, it sounded just like me. Yeah, mom. You didn't hear any kind of dialect with the accent. I'm like, he can't be Australian. You know, I'm serious. Go back and watch it. You're like, wait, what? He doesn't. Almost every character that was in, excluding McLeach, because I'm like, was McLeach supposed to be Australian or was he just an American that just was a poacher in Australia? I don't know what it is like. Is poaching very bad? Can you go to jail or get hanged for poaching in Australia? People put that in the comment section. I would love to know more about that. But yeah, like I'm sure a lot of the animals there are very protected as well. But you know, Cody, go watch. If it makes you laugh, it makes you laugh. But Cody I was like, he's not even Australian. He's not. Even Jake, the little Jake, the I don't know what he was, but I don't know if he was a mouse that just had hind legs, or I noticed a marsupial or animal down there, rodent that has like looks like a mouse but has hind legs. I noticed, but even he spoke with an Aussie accent. He's supposed to be like a satire of Crocodile Dundee, but yeah, you know, but you hear the different dialects of Australian accent from somebody who's from, let's say, the Gold Coast of Australia, and someone who's from Melbourne, or somebody who's from Perth, or something like that. You know, yeah, I know my cities. I do know my Australian cities. So you do hear the difference. Somebody who's from the northern hemisphere and someone who's from the southern hemisphere, something like that. Sorry, I'm an Australian nerd. I get crazy about that stuff. Um, so let's see. Who go Chris? I'm just saying, I do know my Australian, geography. It's just I read it. Um, do you remember? Oh, let me see. Burger World. Do you think that's how? Probably. Um, I always howled with laughter when Beavis and Butthead turned into great. Oh, when Beavis turned into Great Cornholio. Yeah, that was is when he go on high or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. Same here, and I still do laugh. Yeah. Did you hear? Did you hear? Getter Heat song. Get a Robo Op. I don't know. Are you going to watch the upcoming Beavis and Butthead movie? Yeah, I probably will. Yeah, Paul Hogan's another Aussie legend. He had his own comedy show back in the '70s. Yeah, I know that. Like he's been around for years before you know before Crocodile Dundee. The movies that he's done for I've really like outside of Crocodile Dundee. Another one of my favorite movies he did was Lightning Jack with him and Cuba Gooding Jr. He was in the Old West. And he was trying so hard to become famous, like a famous outlaw, better than Jesse James and all of them. And Ben Cuba Gooding's character he was deaf, but he could read and write. Now you got to remember this is like the 1800s, and so it's different back then. But they used to call him the dummy, but he could read and write better than most people in the towns could. And he taught Ben how to be an outlaw. It was so funny. It's a good movie. It's a funny movie. It's got him, Paul Cuban Gooding Jr., Beverly D'Angelo's in that. She was great too. It was a good movie. It's a funny movie. Um, but yeah, he would talk about how why he came to America. He was like, yeah, he was like, see, in Australia is a colony. You get caught there, you're wanted all over the damn the damn country. But in America, he's like, I can't even in America. Yeah, you can be wanted in one state and still rob in another state. It was funny, but yeah, he he was trying so hard just to get noticed as like a great outlaw, and he was quick with the draw. He was really good. He called himself Lightning Jack for a reason because his idea was lightning never strikes twice. He could shoot anything. Like he was so good. He had like an eagle eye on his wrist, and that he said that's my eagle eye, and he's like it cost me $30, he got it from a Apache medicine man, and he said, yeah, that makes me see. But he couldn't see. He was, I think he was nearsighted, so he used to wear glasses, and he don't want people knowing he had to wear these bifocals, so he would tell people to turn around. And but that was a fun movie. I love Lightning Jack. That came out in '94. So I don't know how old everybody was when that movie came out. It was a good comedy. He has Paul Hogan is good at comedy for sure. Speaking of Aussie legends, have you ever heard of Burt Newton? He was also I heard of Burt Newton. Yeah, I know him too. Laughing out loud. Go Chris. It's not. I'm just saying. I like to learn about Australia. It's fun. You see Demon Slayer. I have not watched Demon Slayer yet. Still haven't watched yet. It's on my list to watch, guys. I will let you know when it comes. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell the different types of Aussie accents. My partner is Nova Castaigne from Newcastle, and as for poaching laws, I may have to get back to you on that. Yeah, I would love to know like what's the maximum you can get for poaching in Australia. I would like that. Yeah, that'd be really interesting to know. But yeah, I mean, you can hear the difference. Like when I hear, um, like even when I hear like favorite Australian actors about like you know like Hugh Jackman, you hear his accent and you hear Chris Hemsworth. you hear the difference. Um, there are times I don't even hear who played Harley Quinn. I'm forgetting her name. Margot Robbie. I barely hear it. It's like she can hide it really well. Um, Rebel Wilson, I hear hers, but you know, like I said, when by the time I was 14 and my mom, um, uh, not my mom, excuse me, when I finally I watched a special about the Bee Gees and I heard them speak, I was like, oh my God, they're Australian. I didn't know that. You know, so yeah, it's funny. You know, you never know when you until you know. Indeed. Um, it's funny. Next question. Let's get this. Gonna and get ready to wrap this up. Okay, last question. Um, let's see any more questions or not. Okay. K Shihan, what's another place you want to go? Uh, where I want to go? Besides Australia, Japan. Uh, but right now, I mean, it's not a good time to be going to Japan or anywhere like that. But yeah, Japan has always been on my list. I definitely want to see that big Gundam statue. I definitely want to see that. That thing actually moves and transforms, like, and it makes all the noises. It's like that amazes me that they did that. They, you know, I definitely Australia, Japan. I'd love to go back to Germany once, you know, but yeah, yeah, there's still places that still, you know, traveling wise. I like traveling. I do. Um, Next question. Okay, from Real David. Okay, wait before you leave. I need to know. Need to do a real talk for a moment and give us a motivation speech or a life quote because life has been hard lately. Okay, I mean, good. I mean, I do that. That's great. Hit it. God bless. Sorry, I didn't ask many questions. That's fine. If you're just here to talk or just to hear me speak, that's fine. I want to thank everybody who came out. Uh, Technically, the Bee Gees were born in Isles of, Isles of Man, but migrated to Australia when they were young. I never knew that. Thank you very much. Learn something every day. So, Brio, if you're going to give us a speech, hit it before I wrap this up. Okay. Okay. How scary would it would it how scary would it country started making mobile suits like Gundam and such? Oh, uh, that would be kind of scary. A little, well, a little like there was a Gundam for every country, and that'd be kind of how they would solve conflicts. That'd be cool. It'd be kind of cool. Or if they can go out into space and do it, that'd be cool. So no, I want you to give us a speech. Like I need you to do a real talk for us. I need your advice on just life. Give me some motivate. Oh, me. Um, Me. Okay. Well. Uh. Okay. Well, I put this speech. I actually put this quote on it. It's on one of my new shirts. That you can buy now. Um, Basically, it's about never giving up. Never give up because great things take time. So it's a shirt. I made a shirt. One of my merch on my shirts is two of my new merch shirts. One of them is it's fun. The other one is a great quote. It's never give up because great things take time. Well, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for all who came out, and thank you for showing me. Did it a little earlier, so I lasted longer. But with that being said, guys, you guys take care. I will see you guys next time for real. We're gonna do another Q&A the month of November. It'll be sometime in between the month. But with that, you guys take care. I will see you guys next time as always. Stay real. I'm forgetting my lines. Peace, one love, stay tuned. Keep it real as always. And yeah, man, stay safe and deuces.